king of love jack, baby. Take wheel. Take wheel. Everybody take wheel. Come on, take wheel. Take wheel. Everybody take wheel. We got to speak to me, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Give you a jab to the nose and make you say what's up. I'm in the club, nigga, talk with the long barrel. When the music stop having singing, not Christmas carols. People hate me, man.
The link is live now.
They see the wings on my back and they know I'm gon' fly. So what the fuck supposed to do? Just try to please people. Got my MK crew family and I don't think people. Remember, used to put newspaper in my tennis shoes. Used to walk around in them tennis, the mini shoes. For bumpy nigga, I was too thugged up for that. Never told all my enemies I couldn't be a rat. But niggas told me, man, they got it in return. Now in their mama's living room in a nice skirt. Fuck your whole crew, bitch, cause you gon' get caught.
I'm sorry.
Blow your brains out in your lap, now hold that.
It's one of them fake free environments. I'm sorry. But if you need to, take a break, you go back.
This is the beginning of a new era. Say we're getting it poppin', nigga, cause I'm so clever. You can love me, I hate me, nigga, but I'm still with it.
Is it smoke? Oh, she's vaping anyway.
Just from my killers who just straight up murder. They get when it's super dead, just like a nigga.
Oh, but go ahead. You already did it now. We're good. No, go ahead.
And I'm trying to get it right for my man.
No.
So any drama, don't really
Go ahead. I'm being for real. I'm being for real. This is your first time visiting, so you good. I want you to be comfortable. Don't. I'm gonna clap it up. Jasper. All right, Tony. The lights will be up in a minute. Tony, but how's the audio? Yeah. How you feeling this, Leah? How you feeling this? You gotta get on that mic. I can't hear you.
Feeling good.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
That shit bomb.
Gotta get it nice.
White shit in your head, this mic is not a fucking
Lice.
I keep the termites fed, like a pistol stay with some lead. Like Marita dog, stay with some bread. I lived in the trailer, not no context. They still got it, but you couldn't run on my set. I kill niggas, dog, and also I kill top. Tell my mouth snitches, had 2 fucking moms. Niggas tell me, goddamn, they drop the fucking time. Your brains are gone, now you out of your fucking mind. And niggas know I fight you, bitch. Yeah, I'm ready to stop, but they don't fucking understand it.
Yeah. Got a pocket out there.
Say we're getting it poppin', nigga, cause I'm so clever. You can love me, I hate me, nigga, but I'm still winning. See my legacy never in the bitches the beginning. This is the beginning of a new era. Say we're getting it poppin', nigga, cause I'm so clever. You can love me, I hate me, nigga, but I'm still winning. See my legacy never in the bitches the beginning.
For the lighting.
Yeah. Shoot. Hey, we just did it. Another episode. Bringing it in right now. Yeah, you like that, don't you, Monique? I know you like that, right? This thing is just too cool, right? Hey, check this out. Hey, welcome everybody to another great episode. And y'all know how we do it out here. Can y'all hear fine? I'll make sure y'all headphones are turned up good.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
You good over there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right, you just do some sign language. I understand that a little bit. Hey, check this out. Hey, a great episode. Y'all know I'm rocking the straight pineapple. You know what I'm saying? Pineapple on the rocks. No, nothing in there. Of course, I got my 1186 right here. You know, so this is what I do. I push the 1186 all day. Black owned. You gotta love it. You know what I'm saying? The official state water for Alabama. And that's what we do. But hey, if you ain't noticed, I'm rocking my shirt by my girl Jeray Fit. Okay. If y'all don't know, Jeray is a professional women's football player, and she is sponsored by 5Cast. So shout out to them 5Cast for sponsoring my girl Jeray Fit. She doing her thing. She doing it big. Don't act like G5. I love the ladies now. I love the ladies. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna take care of them, make sure y'all good and everything. So Jeray, she gonna do great things, you know. the season to be starting here, and she does big stuff. So you can follow her. You know what I'm saying, at Jeray Fit, and I'll make sure I have her information at the bottom of the screen here in a few minutes. But shout out to my girl Jeray. You know what I'm saying? You my girl, and you know how we do it. All right. So today, y'all know, 5Cast is all things business. You know, I love business. I love business 100%. But like I tell everybody, 5Cast is not just about business. It's about physical and mental wellness. Because so many times we'll have businesses, but we don't take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? From the physical aspect, we don't take care of ourselves from the mental aspect. And we'll bottle things up. And you know, I love the fact that this young lady, she reached out to me, you know, because and I saw it. I'm bad at my Instagram as far as checking like messages for people I don't follow. And I just happened to look and I saw these little blue messages in the top right. And I clicked on it. And I was like, oh, for real? I said, okay. And then I hit you back, right?
You did.
I hit you right on back. And then we had a conversation. And I was so receptive. She was just kind of like, for real? I said, yeah. I said, please, that's what we need. You know what I'm saying? We don't have time to be playing around. We got to, this is not even a topic. This is just a way of life that should be going on consistently, but it's not, you know, and I think, you know, like I was sharing with her, I know in our community, you know what I'm saying, as a African American male, we shun counseling, we shun therapy, we shun it. The reason why, because I think we take it as we're weak or we can't handle things, or maybe certain jobs we've had before that you know, if we talk to somebody, it's gonna show that we're weak and we can't handle some things. You know what I'm saying? So
or even like childhood stigmas that we've had growing
Right.
up from people who are like our parents and things like that.
True.
And different things that have like kind of made us resistant towards even telling people our business, or even wanting to be vulnerable.
True. So true. So true. So after having a conversation with her, I said, you know what? Hey, this is what we got to do. We got to bring her on in. And I ain't gonna tell you what really happened, but you know, when she supposed to came, but she ain't come. But hey, that ain't me. Listen, some people do stuff like that now. Then she gonna hit me back. Damn
you are shady.
Shout out to G5 for diming her out right now. I ain't even gonna dime you out. It's on me. It was a joke, Leah. It was a joke. It was a joke. I wouldn't even gonna say what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even gonna say what I was gonna say. See, you telling on yourself. I wouldn't even gonna say that. I wouldn't even say that for real. I promise you. You know, so
I'm transparent.
So my thing was, I said, hey, we got to get her in here ASAP. You know what I'm saying? So we reconnected on the conversation. So she's here today. And without further ado, you know, I like to bring her in, Leah, the therapist. I call her Princess Leah. What's going on there, Princess Leah? How we doing?
I'm doing good.
Huh?
Thank you for having me.
Come on now. No, thank you for coming. Really, really. You know, you the one who's sitting there telling stuff. I'm sitting there like, yo, don't do that.
It's okay. I can talk about the great hospitality that I've gotten since I've been here. So I greatly appreciate that.
Okay. So that is one of my first question I always ask. You know what I'm saying, when people come in here. So up to this point right here, how has the experience been thus far?
Phenomenal.
Okay, you say phenomenal. How? Why do you say that? I want you some of these queso chips right here first.
Anybody who knows me knows I really don't like driving.
Oh, friend, you got to pull the mic up on you.
Oh,
you got that Beyonce, you know, thing going on.
A sexy voice working.
Yeah.
Okay. What about now?
Okay.
Better.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's cool.
Anybody who knows me knows I don't like driving. So
For
the
real?
fact that, like, you know, you came in and picked me up,
Okay.
that was a plus.
Okay.
I love food and I love tacos.
Okay.
So
Taco game strong.
I got everything
and
I like.
tequila.
Okay.
And I do love tequila.
Okay.
as well.
That's what you said. Now you said that's what you wanted. So
you made it happen. I
Okay.
appreciate that. You allowed my friend to come with me to make sure that I feel
goddamn shout
comfortable.
out so you can feel comfortable. That's why G5 always say bring a +1 with you. Because I don't want nobody coming here feeling like nothing. That's why I tell people to watch the show. If they watch the show, they'll understand, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bring somebody with you. Because one, I'll tell anybody, if you're female, don't go nowhere by yourself. That's just my thing. And I don't even like to be in a situation when I'm with a female by myself. You know what I'm saying? So not because of me, it's just I want to make things feel comfortable. And I have daughters, so I understand. And I want them to be the same way. You know what I'm
Yay
saying?
for girl dads. They
Come on, now,
rock.
don't play with them. This the girl dad of dads right here now.
Yay for
I don't
girl
play. I got
dads.
fine daughters too. You know what I'm saying? Woo-hoo.
How old are they?
All dads say that stuff, don't they?
I'm about to say
You know what I'm
fine.
saying? They gorgeous. Come on now.
Hey,
Listen,
that's good.
My DNA strong. Their mama DNA is strong. How about that? Their mama fine. That's what it is. But anyway, so This is not one of those typical things. Okay, first thing first, give me a brief summary about you, just a brief summary, like what you do now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull the things back, and we're gonna go back a little bit in time.
Okay.
Okay, talk to us.
Well, I
You gotta make
am
sure on that mic. Come on.
on the mic. Do I look at you or
No,
look
no.
at the camera?
Hold on. So you can make it come up. I think that's what it is.
Oh, that's nifty. See,
There you go. There you go. Now
you
it's
got
right
action.
there. There you
action. Okay. Do I
Boom.
look in the camera or do I look
go.
at
Don't
you?
look at me. We talking. It's our conversation. You know
Okay.
what I'm
Okay.
saying?
So I'm a licensed professional counselor,
Okay.
supervisor, meaning
She
that,
said supervisor too. Okay. Showing off. You showing off in here.
so that means I can supervise interns, like newly licensed people, because whenever you first get your license, you have to have an internship for 18 months. So I'm a supervisor. I'm also licensed in the state of Louisiana as well.
What?
As a licensed professional counselor. My specialty is minority women's issues, dealing with work stress, personal life stress, relationship stress, communication issues, family stress, just learning how to navigate some things that us as women have to deal with.
Let them shut up all the damn stress you can relieve. That means you can relieve a whole bunch of stress. Because everything has stress in it. What you talking about?
Life is stressful.
You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you said that you're a supervisor and that when people do come out of the course of school or whatever it is, and they have to go underneath the professional, that you are an individual, you know what I'm saying, that they can go through that time with. And that is so cool. You know what I'm saying? To meet a young sister doing this like this right here. Man,
because I wanted other.
Hold on, I'm gonna shout out some stuff now. You ain't gonna stop my shout outs now. Damn, I shout out a whole bunch of stuff sometimes. Okay, everybody know I shout out some stuff. Shout out to the red cups right here. You know what I'm saying? This pineapple juice. Shout out what you drinking over there. Go on, take a drink. Come on, Leah. Don't try to act cute over here. Momo fresh in town, y'all. She came from North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So we did the meetup. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to come through today, and she's a what are you again? She's an alcohol rehabilitative somebody.
As we drink. Wait a minute.
I'm a licensed clinical.
Ooh, she's a licensed clinical addiction specialist. Now, shout out to that right there. That's all kind of stuff right there. All them elemental P's and everything after parentheses and commas and everything like that.
So like the addiction doesn't have to be drugs, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So what's the strangest addiction you work with?
I would.
So we can't get that voice on the mic. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh my
I didn't
Okay,
get
so-
an opportunity to get too strange, but
we're gonna let them do a sidebar later on because we can't hear them over here on the mic. So Leah, see, you gotta watch your friends you bring sometimes. They be asking stuff they shouldn't be asking somebody. You need to text each other over there. You know what I'm saying? See, we have fun too, Leah.
You said
We be
conversation. And the conversation was wrong.
Ooh, shout out to her again.
Shout out my girl.
Tony. Shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? Y'all funny. That's good. Y'all funny. Y'all real funny. They funny, Monique. Yeah. All right. So you told me a little bit about yourself, all the elemental P's and all the stuff like that, with parentheses, strong stuff. That's good. All right. So we're going to go back a little bit though. Because this is what we do right here on Firecast. One, I want to kind of see the type of person you are. You know what I'm saying? What you did. So we're going to go back. What's the youngest you can remember what you actually doing stuff? That you actually just, I don't care how
I would
young.
say like 7 or 8.
Okay, let's make the mic just to the
I
death.
would say like 7 or 8.
Okay, we go. Shout out to damn 7 and 8. We're gonna do both of them. Damn, shout out to 7. Let's do 7. What grade we in? Because people can't
Second
remember.
grade.
You second grade? I don't remember what the hell grade it was. Second grade. Okay, what type of person was Leah?
Talkative.
Come on now. You were the
Like, I'm
one. You were the
still
one getting
talkative.
everybody in damn trouble.
Mostly just myself for talking a lot.
So we're trying to take a nap. Were we taking naps in second grade?
No
That was
naps.
kindergarten.
No naps.
Okay, then second grade. Okay,
Just
so
like a lot of talking back to teachers, talking too much in class.
okay. And where were you at the time?
I was here in Houston.
You was here in so you from Houston?
I was born in Pittsburgh, but I was here in Houston.
Okay, I mean you did say Pittsburgh when we had a conversation on the phone. Okay, so that's
Go
right. You did say
Steelers.
you was in Pittsburgh and then you came down here to Houston. Okay, that's cool right there. So you second grade, just running that mouth, just being that one, but everybody liked you, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so you were the popular person in class.
Maybe like high school.
Oh, okay, we ain't gonna skip that far yet. So we still working in second grade.
I was a
Or we
little-
doing third grade?
It's like about the same,
7.
but I was about the same person.
Okay.
Talkative, smart, nerdy.
Okay, hey, shout out to
Some
damn nerd because I was nerd too. You know what I'm saying? I was cool with it though. You were cool with it too. That's
I
cool.
was.
I know you had swag. I see your swag. Okay, I see it. All right. So as you coming up, so we're gonna go ahead and move up to middle school time period. What type of person were you at that time?
I About the same. Pretty talkative. I was athletic. I was in sports.
Oh, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Cause now we getting somewhere. Cause when she got out the van, I was looking like this right here. You know what I'm saying? So I figured you had a little play something. What were you playing?
AAU basketball.
Okay, look at you on the AAU. Crossovers. Was your crossover strong then?
I was like a post.
Okay.
I was more like, you know, the little.
You gotta get on that mic though. You gotta get on that mic.
Oh
man.
my gosh. Okay, I'm horrible.
Come on
okay,
now. I know
sorry.
it.
And I move too much
you be
when
telling,
I talk.
You be telling people what to do on the therapy thing. I
gotta listen.
Man,
That's a part of communication is
oh,
listening.
Y'all don't do that too much, do you? Them therapists be talking to you. They don't.
Oh, I listen.
I ain't saying you don't. I'm just asking a question. Oh, you pointing, Monique? What you pointing for?
Mm-hmm.
More over there pointing. All right, so you play AAU. You in the post.
Mm-hmm.
Were you good?
Average.
Okay, no problem right
I was
there.
average.
Okay, so when it's time to play school ball, you play school ball too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so talk to me about that.
It was fun being, you know, girls.
Okay.
They're fun. We'd be messy though. So,
Okay.
but overall, school was cool.
You play volleyball? No. See,
No.
I'll
I
take
tried
you.
to
I'll
run
take you
track
for
and do
volleyball.
hurdles, but I was slow.
You were slow.
Mm-hmm. I was a little too slow, and sometimes not coordinated. The hurdles, like
right? That wasn't your thing.
It wasn't.
Okay.
I tried debate because, you know, again, I still
Okay,
talk
talk
too
about
much.
you debate. Okay.
I did that for a while. I was really good at that.
Were you?
Mm-hmm. For a while, I thought I actually went to school to be a lawyer. I got a degree in criminal justice.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What made you change your mind?
My last semester of school, I volunteered at a domestic violence shelter and like started doing like just different activities with them, like small makeovers, using like positive affirmations. And then I met this lady there and she was like, you know, you can get like paid to do this and be a counselor. Like that was never talked about like growing up. I was like, what? I can get paid to talk to people? And then I was like, well, shoot, let me go on back to school then.
Goddamn, shout out to be getting paid to talk to somebody. Because if somebody paid me to talk to somebody, I'd be talking to everybody out here. That's what I'd be doing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so in high school, I don't want to go that far to college yet. You know what I'm saying? So we was in high school playing ball. You still was average. You wouldn't get no scholarships.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, then, but you
like
playing ball.
For smarts, like
well, I'm talking about for the basketball piece. You know what I'm saying? No. But I know you said you was a nerd early. So I already know you smart. I got the smart thing. You know what I'm saying? So you smart, you come up to a high school, you about to graduate, right?
Mm-hmm.
What mom and them say?
About what? They were just excited. I was graduating.
Okay.
Like
they want to keep you close to home, or what? Is that what they want to do?
They did. My parents wanted.
Yeah, that's what we got to talk about. Mom and Dad. What's mom and dad's name anyway?
Tina and Fred.
Goddamn, Tina and Fred. Shout out to y'all. Your daughter getting paid for talking to people right now. She ain't calling y'all for no money.
I'm helping people. Now I realize it's more than just talking to people. I'm helping them to get through life, be kind of a sounding board for them, being that unbiased support. Some people have. Some people don't have any support. Like their therapist is their only support.
See, Lee, you trying to jump the Z on me already. Our show gonna be over in 30 minutes. What you doing right now?
Okay,
I don't even want to be. If you want to be done with 30 minutes, it'll be done.
No, I'm enjoying myself.
I know you're going too far. Okay. You're going too fast.
Let's go back to high school. Go back to college.
I'm trying to get to college. I'm still getting there. Mom and Daddy, Tina and Fred.
Shout out them.
Shout out again. I said Tina and Fred. That's where we at before she was already graduating and helping people here in Houston already. You know what I'm saying? But that's the entrepreneur in here, and I understand. It's cool. So, did they have an input in where you went to school?
I would say they directly didn't, but then to an extent, yes, because I'm super close with both my parents.
Okay.
So it's like I wanted to branch off, but then like if something went wrong, like I know I'm a big crybaby, and I don't want them like to be able to access me very quickly. So I felt like Sam Houston was a happy medium.
Okay, Sam, shout out to that dude, the dude on the side of the highway. Up 45. Don't act like you don't know the statue over there.
Yes.
Come on now.
Sam. I thought the dude, him.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just see him on the highway. When I go by, you big dude standing up there on the right. As I'm going north sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's what he doing out there. So we went for Sam Houston. Did you like it? How was school? Talk to me about school.
I enjoyed
freshman
school.
Year. We're going to freshman year because I know you'll be a graduate.
Freshman year was fun. Got acclimated to just like not having my parents there and finding that healthy balance of keeping up with school, but then wanting to be very social. Because again, I still talk too much. So just figuring out what that balance looked like. But then also my first year was pretty easy education wise because my parents told me I had to like keep a certain GPA in order to get a car. And again, you can't be a busybody with no car.
So she had busybody on her mind. Already.
Because I like to talk, I like to socialize, and if I
Right.
want to go on campus and do stuff, or if I want to go to parties off campus,
She said
like,
parties.
you have to have a car.
Parties. That's what she said. She like to shout out them damn parties at Fort Sam. You know what I'm saying? Evidently, y'all partied on that campus. Look at you.
We had a good time
Y'all had a good time.
and learned a lot.
I heard they party hard up there. That's what
I
I,
mean,
heard.
there's
now.
nothing else to do
Yeah, it's a prison.
besides
Not too
go
far
to
down the road.
school,
So
the prison, and
prison right down the
a
road. So
few
you don't want to do
holes
too
in the
much.
walls. Yeah, that's why they're known for criminal justice. That's
Hey,
why I went
them
there.
criminal
Like,
justice game is
they have
strong.
a nice criminal justice program. You can do internships at the jail. Like that's what they were known
Did you
for.
do those?
No.
No.
I ended up at the domestic violence shelter.
Oh, okay. So freshman year went on by.
Mhm.
You didn't say they look at you and say, "Hey, can you play some basketball?"
No,
'Cause you got them long legs.
They didn't look at me and say that. And I wasn't really in the gym or
Oh, you wasn't hanging around like that.
in the basketball. court like
Okay.
that. I was hanging.
Oh, you was hanging. Well,
I was
let's
at the
talk about some of that right there.
cafeteria. I was joining organizations.
Okay, let's talk about them damn organizations that we trying to be part of like that. Shoot, we talking about we getting down to the aluminum foil over here now.
like Black Student Alliance.
Okay, talk to me
like,
about
stuff like that.
What made you get into those things?
Because that's where all the Black people are at. CM Houston
Okay.
didn't really have a lot of minorities there, so just seeing where the other minorities were and
Right.
connecting, hanging.
Okay. Y'all have a good time partying too.
Yes, a nice healthy balance of both.
And shout out to the balance. She's very careful in her conversation. I can tell that too. You know what I'm saying? That's good though, Leah. We ain't gonna have them careful conversations now. You know what I'm saying? It ain't trying to make you say nothing anyway, but I want you to just be relaxed. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to think about it too much. You know what I'm saying? It seems like you're thinking about it too much.
I mean, you got me thinking way back to college.
I
you know
know.
you know how long ago that was? We're talking almost 10 to 15 years
I
ago.
know,
Like,
and that's good, and that's
like,
what we
you're
want.
making
I
my
know
brain
that's
hurt.
good. That's good. That's what I'm trying
that's
to.
why I have to pause because I'm thinking because
Right.
you're asking me to roll way back in my Rolodex.
Shout out to another drink real quick. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard of Wink and Drink?
Wink and drink.
You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
You better hear it now. You better stop playing. Wink and Drink what? A wink and drink what? A wink and drink what? Hit 'em, G. It's 5:00. It's time to leave. I dig into my pockets, pull out my car keys, grab my wallet, walk out the front door, unlock my phone, open the app store. I need a place to meet and think. Found a brand new app called Wink and Drink. Yeah. It's Wink and Drink. Hey. It's Wink and Drink. Come on. It's Wink and Drink, a brand new app where people meet. Come on. It's Wink and Drink. Hey. It's Wink and Drink.
Oh, we're gonna talk about you gonna download this app.
A brand new app where people meet. Drop 5 on that ass right now because they don't think it's an app. I'm about to show them though. Go on, pull your phone out, Monique. Pull your phones out right now. Pull that phone out, Leah. Let's go.
We're about to download.
We're about
Wink
to
and
download
Drink.
the Wink and Drink app. That's what we're about to do.
Can you tell me how this app
Hey,
works?
let's go ahead. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. Okay.
I'm loving the sound effects.
And I want you to listen to these instructions one more time. Drink what? A wink and drink what? A wink and drink what? Hit 'em, G. It's 5:00. It's time to leave. I dig into my pockets, pull out my car keys, grab my wallet, walk out the front door, unlock my phone, open the app store. I need a place to meet and think.
it.
Found a brand new app called Wink and Drink.
Yeah, let's get. Come on.
It's Wink and Drink.
Hey.
It's Wink and Drink.
Come on.
It's Wink and Drink, a brand new app where people meet.
Come on.
We would meet on weekend.
It's Wink and
There you
Drink.
go. That's how you and me.
It's Wink and Drink. It's Wink and Drink, a brand new app where people meet. Hey, they ain't ready for this right here.
It says 17 and up.
No, you got to slide it. No, you can slide it to wherever. Yeah. So no, you can slide it 17 on over to the whatever number you want to, and slide it to the right. You can make the left and right limits as far as you want to make them.
Okay. Come on.
You know what I'm
Wink
saying?
and Drink.
You know, I'm telling you, Wink and Drink is the thing right there now. It's a social app, for real. It's not like one of those type of apps. It's a social app. Right. It's not like that at all. It's one of those things where you can put in you could have put in tequila and pineapple juice, and then saying that, hey, I only want to saying socialize. I'm here for socialization, or I'm here to network.
I only want
That's it.
other tequila drinkers.
And that's what it's gonna pretty much gonna be like that.
That's basically what she said.
That's basically what you're saying. So that way you cut out all that crazy mess, or you want to know where the best tequila places are. The link they're about to do a big launch in Miami next week on the 21st. And so it's incorporated with restaurants. So that way you can order food through it. You can buy people, right now you can buy people drinks through it. You know what I'm saying? So the wink is just so you notice somebody. Say you're riding by, there's an area, you open up the app and you're on the wink side, right? So you can see people, you be like, oh man. You might be just like, oh man, look at her, look at Monique over there. Okay, let me just throw a wink on it. The thing will say, hey, G winked at you. It'll show me. And then you can look at my profile and see that, okay, I'm just here just for networking, or I'm here for just socializing, just for dinner. That's it. And I'm winking at you. That's what my profile will say, because you build your DNA profile, right? And then you can say, okay, either yes or no. Now, if you say yes, right, it sets up so you can text each other within the app, but you only have 25 texts that you can talk back and forth. After that, it pushes them out. You know what I'm saying? Or you say, hey, okay, we can meet. Shout out to this damn app. This is the best app since sliced bread. Listen.
Wink and drink.
Wink and drink. Okay? Don't act like you ain't gonna hear that jingle no more tonight. You're gonna be singing it when you get back in the van tonight. I promise you.
Interesting. Yeah,
I know it's interesting.
I've never seen a concept like that.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I'm trying to tell you, the minds that came up with it, all females. It's their app.
Females are pretty smart.
Man, shout out to all of them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Vanessa, Vanity, you know what I'm saying? Danny, you know what I'm saying? Thelmalina, all of them. They're doing big things. Wink and drink. It's the brand new app where people meet. Come on.
Hey.
So we at sophomore year. Okay, then. So freshman year was pretty good. You went back, reported back to your parents, say, hey, you know what, school was great. Going back to Fort Sam or Sam Houston, sophomore year. How was that?
It was cool.
Yeah, get up on that mic.
Oh, yes. It was cool. It was cool.
Okay.
School went by pretty fast for me because I finished quickly because I went in with credit. So,
okay. So you finished your sophomore year?
Like I did summer school. Like I never stopped and took a break.
So you just stayed there?
Basically, yes.
So you just ready to go get out of school and just call it a day?
But I still had fun in the process.
I can tell because you ain't saying nothing about none of the fun, but I can tell you had fun.
I went out.
Give me something.
Cool
did you study abroad anywhere? Did you go do that?
No.
Did you study abroad? Okay, so
that would have been fun. I considered it, but that would have been more lively. No, I stayed pretty local.
All right.
I traveled a lot to different schools. I like that. I went to PV a lot, SFA. So I met like other people at different universities. So that was fun as well, like exploring other schools.
Okay, that was great.
Lamar was cool. So for me, like even now, I like to travel. So for me, it was more fun to just like I went to LSU a lot to see some at feasts to see other people.
Okay, yeah.
So like I just went to other schools and just experienced their homecoming.
So you knew her from where?
I met her through some mutual friends at LSU.
Okay, so she was at LSU at the time? Okay.
Yes.
What were you doing there? I know you was in school. So
I was
you was in
getting
school.
the education.
Shout out to people who won't be smart all the time. I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Look, I can be smart too, but I ain't gonna be smart. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to be the dumb one on the show. So I'll remain the dumb one on the show. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Well, my side job was pimping, but
okay. All right.
That was low key.
Low key. They weren't giving no credits out with that one. So what were you doing at LSU?
Like what? Outside of school?
No. I'm saying like what were you going to school for? I'm sorry. I'll be more direct. I can be professional too. Okay.
No.
But I like to just joke. Good. Okay then.
Like major in sociology, minor in psychology.
Okay, that's cool. So you met her like during your sophomore year, or at what point was that?
Maybe like sophomore, junior year. Okay, sophomore year.
Okay, what made you click with her?
Like I said, we had mutual friends that we knew, and then just hanging and party.
Okay, party. That party was strong. Did you party that much at school?
I enjoyed school, man.
Where'd you go to Central? You went to Central, right? Shout out damn nothing on Central. You know what I'm saying? Damn Eagles. Boy, them damn Eagles, boy. Them damn Eagles. Ooh. It's all good though. We used to go down there too. You know our Central game was strong.
See, that means you partied a lot too.
No parties. None. I never party.
hard for me to believe I'm the only partier.
Yeah,
here.
you were party, but you were doing advanced studies and you were studying like that, so you were doing good. That's we appreciate that.
Yes.
All right, so graduating, you already kind of told us that you were going to do one thing, but then you wound up talking to the lady and she told you about the program. You said you hadn't heard that before, and so it sparked your interest.
Correct.
And so you figured out what you needed to do. So tell me about that process and what you did.
Well, actually, so I graduated still with a criminal justice degree, and I wanted to be a juvenile probation officer.
Okay.
But then at that time, again, I graduated so early. I was only 19.
Right.
So when I was applying for that, a lot of people were like, "You can't supervise juvenile men because you're
For
still
real?
a juvenile."
Get out of here.
Yeah, they was hating. And so I took a year off and just kind of hung out, bartended, just kind of got my money together.
The bartending game.
You know, it makes good money.
I know. Listen, I want to be a bartender. Can you teach people to do that?
Mm-hmm.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
And they
It's
can be
more about your
and they can be certified.
personality. Oh, I can't certify you.
That's
But
what
I
I'm
can
saying.
direct you where
So,
to get
okay,
certified.
so I thought you could teach people. I really listen. I'm trying to get my bartender license. I think I'll do okay with that. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
you seem very charismatic.
You know, listen, I'll be in there like, listen, what you gonna drink? Don't even worry about it.
Oh no, that you won't get far with that.
No, I will. No, I'll make sure they pay.
What does "don't worry about it" mean?
Don't worry about it. What you want to drink? I'm gonna give them what they want. I'm gonna give them a drink. Oh, they're gonna pay for it. Trust me. I don't play. I'm a businessman. So we're gonna get the money. I'm like your partner over there. We're gonna get the money. You know, that's what we're gonna do. You know. Okay, so you did some bartending stuff right there while you kind of waiting to get to that point.
And then nothing jumped off. So I was like, I might as well go back to school.
Okay.
So then I went back to school and just got my master's.
Okay. And what?
Counseling education with a
counseling
specialty in marriage and family.
Ah, okay. So you want to be kind of specific with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
I had some extra courses for that, so I might as well throw it on there.
Go on, throw them on there. You know what I mean? Shout out to throwing some extra damn classes in there. Sometimes we got some damn extras on there. You know what I'm saying? You know, the extra 3 to 6 credits to make some things happen, right? Ooh, don't have no flashback right now, Monique. Don't do it. Don't do it. She having flashbacks. Don't do it. Okay, so you graduate. You got your grad degree at that point right there. So now you're armed and dangerous.
Wow.
Armed and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So what we gonna do then?
Well, I was already doing an internship at the psychiatric hospital, so I worked
Which one?
there, Behavior Hospital of Bel Air.
Okay, go ahead. Shout out to the damn bougie ass hospital with the people over there. They bougie got problems. You know what I'm talking about? That's good.
I worked there for a few years, but I knew my goal was to always work for myself, and I had always had my business on the side, and then just had to take off.
Yeah, what business on the side?
My counseling business.
On the side?
Mm-hmm.
While you were interning?
No, while I was working at the hospital, because I had a son, so I still had to work and have full income.
Okay, hold up now. We gotta backtrack. I only know where the sun came from now. We can't just materialize the sun and everything. You know, we got to meet some people to get some kids out here on the books.
Let's go back to the bartending days.
Yeah, listen, I'm trying to get to the bar. I'm trying to get to the bartending. Shoot, she over there making them drinks over there.
Met a guy.
So you met a guy. You were behind the bar.
That's not really how we met. We met through a mutual friend.
The mutual friend. Your whole crew mutual. Okay, that's cool.
It really is.
I feel you. I feel you.
We met through a mutual friend.
Uh-huh.
Figured out we had a birthday in common. Like our birthdays are close.
That's what I'm talking about. Ain't nothing like rolling with somebody to get a close birthday.
We vibed together for 4 or 5 years and then had a son.
That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call him because you didn't say his name when you said anything, so he him. All right, so you had a beautiful son?
Child, yes. His name is Czar.
Czar. Shout out. Caesar?
No.
Is it spelled like that?
No. Czar, C-Z-A-R, like a Russian king.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But not Caesar.
I'm talking about the spell like I'm from North Carolina. I do apologize. Okay. I'm not as educated as you are, okay? But I'm saying the way I'm saying it is like it's like C.
Yeah, that's
Czar.
how it's spelled.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? That's all I'm trying to say. See, she too educated. Remind my daughter. God,
Black women up.
too
We
damn educated.
educated.
You know what I'm saying?
We educated and loaded.
Ooh, Lord have
with
mercy.
attitude and brains.
Ooh, Lord.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that right there, then. That's what I'm shout out. I can cheers to that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to my daughter. She on the scene watching. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to her.
You know what I'm saying? Keep daddy back at all time. You know what I'm saying? My daughter, she's out in LA.
Crazy.
She know that. She's just as crazy.
You got up on the mic close for that one.
That's my twin right there.
How old is she?
24.
Ah,
She's
okay,
24.
okay.
She's a nurse practitioner. She's out in
Shout
she's
out
out in LA.
her.
Shout out to her. She went to Vanderbilt University for undergrad and grad school. And come on now, don't try to act like I ain't just say that. We're gonna try again on the damn thing right here. So we know about a couple of the smart girls every once in a while.
Nice, highly educated.
I don't know if it's highly, but she's educated. Like y'all,
she graduated.
You know what I'm saying?
Highly
She's
educated.
You know what I'm saying? I think whatever school you go to, you're highly educated. It's just my thoughts. Doesn't matter what school it is. I think
some schools are a little more rigorous.
Is it? You think that? Y'all think that? For real?
I would definitely agree. There's some schools that are a lot more. So you telling me
No,
that?
I ain't telling you. I'm asking a question.
Oh,
so I'm not. I'll never make a statement on anything.
I mean, we could compare. Like, are we saying like HCC and like Rice?
I don't know. That's what I just said. See,
Spelman.
I'm great.
I'm
great at debates. I'm great at debates. You know why?
I told you I was on the
because
debate team.
I don't get in them.
Oh.
That's
I
how
enjoy
good I
proving
am
my
at debates.
point.
and it's hard to prove one to somebody like me.
Shout
out to me because I know how to deal with these situations because I've been around women my whole life. You were raised by a single parent mama. Shout out to her, Cookie. I love you to death.
Shout out to single mamas.
Let me tell you, don't play with that one right there now. Don't play with Central Piedmont Johnson C. Smith lady. Don't play with her. Come on, Cookie, all day. Cookie don't play. She raised me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Who we got ahead? Let me see who we got right here. Tony. Y'all will see the remarks right now. What do you say? She's on duty but off duty. Let your shoulders down and just whatever rules. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, you can see it on there.
Will it mess up the feed?
No. I normally it would be up there. I don't know what's going on up there. That's why I keep pushing the button so you can see it.
Oh, the comments are active. I put it in the
Come on now,
chat.
they playing it right here. They ain't playing it right. You thought it was a game up in there?
Hey y'all.
So far her path is orbiting the party in a circle of friends. Tony. Oh, who's volume up? It's you. Shout out to her with the volume up over there. You know what I'm saying? Must be the damn tequila and pineapple that's doing it to her. Hey, this is gonna be cool right here. All the way cool, Monique. You know what I'm saying? I got all these counseling people in here, these therapists in here.
We're all here to help your mental health and be supportive
and I
of
need
you.
it. Lord knows I need it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I might just be a damn therapist myself. Maybe. I don't know. But I'll play the devil role today. So when you had your counsel, you said you had counsel stuff on the side. You had Czar.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say the name right. Oh, look at me. From North Carolina, I said it right. Czar. Damn, that boy can spell. So you had Czar. Mm-hmm. You doing your counsel business on the side.
Correct.
What was the name of it? Or what's the name of it at the time? Or was it a different name?
It's the same name.
Same name?
Yes. It's Liaison Counseling Services, meaning my name, Leah, and I grind and do it for my son. Ooh. And also a liaison is somebody who helps people to advocate for themselves. So Liaison Counseling Services.
That's what I'm talking about. And shout out for that name, the way she did that, play with the words and for her son, dedication and stuff like that, because she had a son. Shout out that pineapple juice too, because it's going in over there. You know, I guess I appreciate you.
It's pretty yummy. Would you like some more ice with your pineapple?
No, I got my ice game strong right now.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put a few in my ice game.
All right, so you started your business. So what made you want to start the business? And what really gave you the entrepreneurial spirit? Or did you have that already? What was going on?
I've actually always wanted to work for myself.
Okay.
Even going back to when I was working at the domestic violence shelter, like just the hours, seeing how replaceable people are. It's either like you work for the money or you work for what you love and do, but you don't make a lot of money.
Okay.
And then I went to the psych hospital and see they make a lot of money. And then I figured out how to do like insurance and billing.
Right.
And then figured out that, hey, I could probably do this by myself. And then a lot of people being like, well, no, you don't have enough experience. And then it was like,
don't you get sick of that when people in the beginning when people tell you that you don't have enough something?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So like, I'll show you.
I know. See, I'm one of them people. You can't tell me I ain't got enough of something. You can't tell me too much anyway. But you definitely ain't gonna tell me I ain't got enough something. I can't do something. I'm gonna have a problem with that. And I'm gonna remedy it. I'm gonna remedy it though. That's the damn thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
It kind of helps to motivate me.
Yeah. So what were some of the things you were seeing kind of like in the domestic violence shelters and stuff like that when you were talking to people?
It was only there for women and children.
Okay.
So a lot of women just dealing with like low self-esteem, lack of like family support, friendship support. So they fall into these unhealthy relationships and they feel
Right.
alone. Sometimes they even, as she might know, they reach into like substance abuse as well. So it makes it harder for them. And then once you have a kid, I mean, you know, you're a parent, but being a single
Right.
parent and then being in that abusive relationship where the male is the provider,
Okay.
it makes it harder for somebody to leave. And then just a lot of times that people don't understand that sometimes the emotional impact of the
Mhm.
words plays a lot more than the physical. The bruises will heal, but if I'm hearing that I'm stupid every day or that
Okay.
I'm worthless, I ain't gonna never find no job, don't nobody want me, like I might begin to really believe that if that's the only person I'm talking to or if that's all I'm hearing day to day. So it's
Right.
hard to alleviate some of that emotional stuff versus again, the bruises will heal.
Right. So what are some of the, you know, even speaking of that right there, right? So because of that, what when when you've seen women, you know, and children in that situation, they finally did get away. Did you talk to some? They probably eventually went back.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely. The
because
cycle of
the
violence on
support system.
average, you're gonna go back at
Mhm.
least 7 times. So
Okay.
like statistics shows that, and that's
Right.
again where you begin to lose more support. Because if I'm that Amy that came and saved you, but you keep going back, I
Mhm.
ain't going no more. I'm that same
Ah.
friend that you calling and we ready to go beat him down, and then
Mhm.
you go back. I don't
Right.
want to talk to you about it. Don't call me the next time that you say you're gonna leave. So you become more and more isolated. So each
Ah.
time that you go back, it's harder and harder to leave because you don't have that support. You realize that most of the time they're very manipulative. So a lot of the times they become more dependent on them. Like, oh, baby, I love you so much. Forget that apartment. I just want to take care of you and come move in with me.
Right.
Now you don't got no outlet of nowhere to go. Like, you know,
Mm.
a lot of them, like they become more and more
So
isolated.
it's almost like they create a haven for you. You know what I'm saying? So you can't escape because you have nothing.
Exactly.
They take you away
It's
from all your
more
support
with
system. Yeah.
domestic, even like I said, the physical, it sucks. But the big thing, it's a major, just a power and control thing. For the males, it's wanting that strength of power and like being demanding. So
Right.
it's all about that.
So because you said generally, you know, saying statistics show that what 7 times generally 7
On
times.
average. Mhm.
So when you're dealing with an encounter with some a lady that may have gotten away, and they're in the shelter or whatever, do you kind of explain that cycle to them, or like what are some of the techniques you use to because you kind of know
Definitely.
that they're probably going to go
Initially,
back.
like you want to talk about that, but then for them, it's not that easy.
Okay.
If I don't have an ID, I've only left with the clothes on my back.
Okay.
Like, ma'am,
Right.
I'm really not trying to hear about no stuff you read out, no textbook. Like that sound good to say, but I don't know where I'm gonna catch my next meal.
Right.
This man might have put a tracking device on my phone or on a car. Like, I don't know if he finna pop up. Like, I don't want to hear nothing that you done said that you done read in no textbook. Like, that's not what they're trying to hear right then in that time. And also, oh, I got this screaming baby who I had no diapers for, and ain't 83 that, like,
Okay.
you know, a few hours. Like, I'm not, what about a textbook? Like a cycle? Like, you're right. If you don't stop talking to me and help me make this baby cry, I'm gonna go. You right. I'm gonna go back. So like, they're not trying to hear that.
So what do you do? What are some of the techniques?
You
I
meet
mean,
them,
are there techniques, or
I mean,
is
again,
it,
it's like kind of the whole thing about counseling. You meet
Okay.
people where they're at. If that's
Mhm.
your immediate need, that's one thing about the shower. We come in, we have the kits all ready for them, like with hygiene stuff.
Okay.
If there is babies, there's a hygiene packet for that. You meet them where they're at. Some people want to bawl and cry and talk about their experience. Some people,
Right.
actually, I want to shut down and I don't want to talk at all. Well, you know what? I'm gonna respect your space. You don't have to talk. Would you like something to eat? Like, you have to meet people where they're at. Even in individual counseling,
Right.
it's like that. You have to meet people where their needs are in that moment.
So it's really about identifying what they're needing at that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And really trying to comfort that piece so you can even get to the point where maybe they can talk to you.
Exactly. And that's
Okay.
that building rapport. Because
Right.
yeah, that lady was talking a lot, but man, she did at least give me some food. She made sure I was straight. So
Mhm.
when I do have a power moment, I might look to her because, you know, she was cool whenever I first came in.
Right. Okay. So now how does some of that, you being a counselor, how does some of that weigh on you? Just personally, you know what I'm saying? Because you're doing this is every day. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I've only did that. And that was a while ago when I did this.
Okay.
I only did that for a certain amount of time because, again, that can weigh on you.
Right.
Even the fact that when I work at the psychiatric hospital, the demand, the high clients, like dealing with people who have schizophrenia disorder, who they're really yelling right next to them. And like, I'm walking down the hallway, I'm trying to eat my lunch and I'm hearing somebody having a call because they have to get a shot. So like, that's another reason for me. It was like, I knew that I wanted to go into private practice because I've enjoyed this experience, but the lifestyle that I want to live, it's not going to go with it. I want a healthy balance of work and fun because, you know, I said I like to party.
She gonna bring the party in there. Listen,
This is
Tony
gonna
was
party.
waiting on Tony M was waiting on that because he knew. I think you know Tony. You did a 2 minute. You knew party was gonna come back up somewhere in the picture or whatever. But you know I brought it up because it has to be a weight and it has to be draining, in a way that one it can
Definitely.
affect you in your just your personal, with the internal. Then it probably can affect people or counselors. You know what I'm saying? Treatment of their kids or the way they have patience or not have patience with the kids. You know what I'm saying? What about just in friendships with people? Do you see some counselors maybe come short with some of their friends or they're impatient?
I think I have a very healthy balance with
Okay.
my friends. I know the few friends that I do give advice or I do talk to, it's like they usually hit me with like, okay, I want to talk to my friend Leah. Okay, let's talk about like I need advice from counselor Leah. Like
Right.
we have those healthy boundaries of where they ask me from what perspective of they want French, that. And also the friends that I do have, we've known each other for a very long time. So usually it's kind of a check-in before you dump. Like, hey girl, how you been? Or, I know you had this going on. You still dealing with that? So it's usually a check-in before like oh my God, let me tell you everything that's going on. Like, or
Right.
let me tell you how I feel.
Go ahead. I'm just trying to get this thing right here. So y'all can see yourself.
I can lightly see myself.
What's that? It's like a better thing when you can see yourself.
Like magic.
Yeah.
I'm like weak.
Okay, so how long? So you did it for how many years? As far as
I worked at the domestic violence shelter for 2.
Okay.
I worked at the psychiatric hospital for 3.
Okay. All right. So and then after that you just said, hey, we're going private practice.
Well, no, it didn't happen like that. The hospital, I kind of hit like a little boiling point there.
Okay.
So I just kind of left, and then I went and worked for this nonprofit part-time.
What made the boiling point?
I mean, again, working for a corporation where they pay you because ultimately they're owned by all United Healthcare. Well,
Okay.
They're all on, and so basically it's you do numbers. Like I need y'all to have this many intakes by the end of the night. Oh, this client, yes, they're real crazy, but they ain't got no insurance, so you need to hurry up and make a treatment plan to kick them out. Actually, they ain't even really depressed, but they got great insurance, so find a way to drag out their insurance. Oh, and then if you're not doing that, then every morning meeting, I'm coming and we're getting yelled at about why we're not hitting numbers. And that can play on you mentally. But then also for me, I feel like I wasn't doing what I came to do. Like I want to actually help people, but it's like if they don't have insurance, it's like they need to go.
So you sound like Kenzie. Kenzie's a speech pathologist, and she was just here a couple episodes ago, and so she kind of feeling that same situation. You know what I'm saying? Where we were talking about how it goes back and forth with the insurance, and go from one place she thought it'd be better here, but it just became the insurance game or the money, or even with the education system, independent school district. Just trying to keep those kids in the same program so they want to get checks for them. And so that made her go into her own practice. So I can.
And then when you find out like how much the hospitals make and bringing that home as an individual, it's a big difference. The hospital's getting paid like $40-$50 an hour versus I could be making that's coming directly to me, and then y'all only want to pay me $20 an hour and talk to me bad. Like I'm good
for real. $20 an hour. That ain't even a shout out. That's just that's highway robbery right there.
And again, they're usually paying like the insurance companies are usually like compensating double.
Right.
Like that's why I said once I figured out how to because they make us call and do the insurance verification and all that ourselves. But then when you start seeing how much they're getting back, it's like, what are we doing? What am I doing here? I know I see what y'all are doing, but
I say that's why they say the insurance game is like it is, huh? Ooh.
And then I think for us, a lot of minorities, I think we underestimate insurance because a lot of us have 9-to-5s and you're paying into these plans monthly, but you ain't even using half the benefits. A lot of y'all have mental health services covered for free.
Know what that they can use though.
Exactly. And that's why these hospitals, they take advantage of you as soon as they see what they could use up. Actually, you should do the physical therapy. I see you have these sessions for free. Like they're going to run your insurance up, but they're not going to be like, hey, by the way, did you know that you also can get mental health services for free? Like they don't help you access other benefits unless it comes for them to run it up.
Right. That's why if you go to the hospital, make sure you go in the morning. If you go in the evening, you go about 5 or 6 o'clock, they're not gonna really see you until maybe 10, 11, so they can run up the next business day after 12. Shout out, that's the game.
That's probably
Okay,
true.
I'm getting the probably true. That's true. That's how it works.
Because they're shady
It's
like
a new
that.
business day. That's how they do
That
it.
is
Because
shady like that. They'll
your
probably
insurance
check you
only
in
pays
at
a certain
10.
amount per day.
They'll probably check you in at 10 o'clock that night, and then bam, we got 2
Get
days.
some IVs. Get some IVs. Don't
Give
put
you
them
this
on
cold
some IVs.
give you this cold sandwich. We fed
Come on
you
now.
too. Like
What? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna run some more vitals?
facts.
We're gonna run some more of this right
Just
here.
so we can have some numbers to fill
Yeah,
in for the insurance
got
requirements.
to.
As long as we get that information we need to make our requirements, like, oh, we're good. Check.
Crazy, huh? Insurance game. That's where it
Mhm.
is right there, man. You good over there? You doing already? For real?
She like you, she don't drink.
Hmm.
I told y'all.
Okay, yeah, you looking like you're feeling good over there. You know what I'm saying? That's good. That's good. That's good. All right, so now let's talk about a thing that I really want to talk to you about.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it, do you think, that a lot of people see counseling as an issue in certain communities? We're like,
I can mostly speak for our community.
okay, let's talk about it.
I think the first thing, kind of like I touched on earlier, is like childhood. Like, what is that? Everybody knows the saying, like, when we're at home, what happens in this house stays in this house. Don't be going telling my business. You know what I'm saying? Then also the limited resources. Well, actually, I think we out here, the Black therapists, we're out here. I just don't think people know how to access us. Like, I don't want to go talk to a white therapist because I'm gonna spend my time explaining to them. Like, I had a client tell me something as simple as like, I was telling her something about my auntie who's not really my blood aunt, and we spent like 30 minutes of breaking down how that works. Like, it's just something like that people don't want to have to express. And then it's like also being vulnerable in general. Like, whenever you're to the point of where you're sad and depressed, that's usually has to do with like some deep, maybe childhood trauma, internal issues, looking at my own personal flaws. So when I have to actually verbalize that, verbalize it to a stranger, and then be open to their hopefully constructive feedback, that's a lot of making myself like at risk. And we're not used to doing that on the daily. Like, if I'm like, hey, what's your biggest fear? It's going to be like something surface level, like roaches, not like, oh my God, my biggest fear is like not being successful, letting my parents down, or not being a great parent. Like, nobody's going to like say some of those more vulnerable things.
Who agree? Put the mic
I
to you.
agree.
Put the mic to you. Yeah, you done jumped in it now. You done jumped in it. I'm sorry.
Back.
You jumped in it. So tell me, why do you agree? I know it's easy to say we agree, but why?
Because you
put it a little closer. Just there you go.
Because when somebody say, how are you doing today? You be like, I'm fine. It's like, you're not about to be like, man, this dude didn't text me back, and now I got me feeling some type of way, and now I got my head all over the place, and I shouldn't even be feeling like this. But the person was just trying to do a little quick drive by, like, mental check. But we really don't be mental checking. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to be embarrassed, and I don't understand why, because we all have problems.
Everybody, right?
Like, I don't know why we be so scared to feel not perfect. We always feel like, she said, when your parents are talking about your family, even though your mama just fussed at you, if somebody say, how Kirsten been doing? Oh, she been good. You know she good at what she be doing. So I feel like they're not gonna tell you, no, Kirsten just talked back to me, and just be putting the business out like that.
Right.
So I think people just want to seem like nothing's wrong. But we all hurting, and it's just like, when you let that out, you feel better. Like, I told my students that the other day, I say, how many of y'all embarrassed to cry? Everybody like raising their hand, because I talk about mental health in the classroom. And everybody a lot of people raised their hand, but I said, did it feel good though after you cried and let it out? Yeah, it did. But I don't know why, like, why is it embarrassing for us to cry? I understand boys used to have that stigma of not crying, but why even a female? I was scared to cry in front of people.
Okay, why were you scared to cry?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
So
I was embarrassed.
Know?
I was embarrassed by it, but I don't know what made me feel embarrassed by
it. So what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, like I said initially, it's kind of difficult for people to be vulnerable, or to express emotion. And again, it's unfortunate that everybody looks at crying as a weakness, even though some people cry whenever they're angry. Crying is such a great release. But as soon as somebody starts crying, even growing up, oh, you're such a crybaby. Why are you being a crybaby? Like, there's always been a stigma against it. It's never been looked like, whoa, you just had a cry. That was a great release. How does that feel? Like, it's always been like, ooh, crybaby, or ooh, you so emotional. Like, it's never like, what's something positive that can y'all name one positive thing that y'all heard about crying?
No, I'm just coming up. No.
So why do I want to cry in front of people if I've never heard anything positive about it?
But how do we get that down so people it's people coming up now, just like your students?
I think it's even bigger.
Like, what grade?
Sixth grade.
Sixth grade. Okay. So what do we do? Because now, even when you ask that question in your classroom, right? You know what I'm saying? They were in the audience of their peers and their teacher. Okay. So now they may felt that they could do that because to them there was no authoritative person over them in a sense of like a parent. Now, could they express that same feeling at home? You know what I'm saying? You know, in front of their parent.
It depends on their parents. Some parents aren't very emotional, like, and some parents are. Like, my mom will sit there and talk to me all day about like her feelings and stuff. My dad, like, let's fix it.
Okay.
Like, let's just not whine about it. Let's fix it. But again, that goes to speak for their generation.
Right. Well, in most of the times, most men are fixers anyway. You know what I'm saying? So there probably isn't that normal dynamic. It's like, okay, we got time to hear about this. Hey, let's go fix it. Right. You know, so there is that dynamic. So now, just from a male perspective, right? So let's say if you have the male dynamic, and like you said, your father will say, fix it. Let's say if he raised me, right? And I come up in that area of, okay, hey, fix it. Then I probably wouldn't feel that I could cry in front of him. I'll probably feel like that if it was some sensitive part of me, you know what I'm saying, or a vulnerable state that I may be in, that I can't go run to mama. Why? Because I understand, okay, mom's a little more lenient in this right here. So I don't want dad to think I'm not a man. So once again,
or why can't I not fix it?
There you go. So this thing just continues to grow. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm asking the question, like, at what point, you know what I'm saying? Like, where does it start? You know what I'm saying?
I think the first start is going to be communication.
Okay.
Normalize communicating our feelings.
Like,
normalizing communicating our feelings, even if that's in day-to-day stuff. Like, yes, maybe not unloading on that person who's asking you how was your day, but if your spouse is asking you how your day is, or if a friend that you feel close with is asking you how your day is, like, maybe being vulnerable with that, or even close friends, whenever you've actually hurt my feelings, being vulnerable is to say like, hey, you know, when you didn't invite me to hang out with y'all, I really kind of felt left out, versus like, well, I'm good. I mean, if that's how you want to move, that's cool. Like, us communicating and verbalizing our feelings is not a norm anymore. So I think it's going to be the basics of just starting to have conversations and people not minimizing other people's feelings. Like, oh, well, you felt that way.
You said like, a key thing right there. You said people not minimizing people's feelings. That is very key. Would you not agree, Monique? I can see your face when she said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that becomes the thing, I think. You know what I'm saying? And I think there is probably a different dynamic when it comes to men and women in the counseling arena. Would you say?
I would definitely say so. Men look at things differently. They conceptualize things differently. Their communication styles are very different. Yes, 100%.
Do you see sometimes? So you said you deal with women, right?
But I do have male clients.
You do have male clients. So how is that? You know what I'm saying? Just from a counselor standpoint. How is that when you deal with males, as far as knowing kind of how males are?
I know for me, sometimes, especially the Black males that I have right now, a lot of them are dealing with meeting like what they think society norms or their family norms are, or they're already successful. Like, a lot of these Black men, the African-American males that I see, they're all educated,
right? But
they're struggling. I have one, like, they're struggling in different aspects. Like, yes, I'm in corporate America. However, I'm looking at Bob over here. He's 26 and he's almost a VP, but he ain't have the struggles that I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for them, just looking at the big picture of like, how many African-American males are actually having a higher degree than an undergrad degree, than a bachelor's degree? Like, you already made it far above. So it's just like with the stigma of being that, but then also some of them even being supportive for their family, i.e. if that be children, a mother or a sister back home, like things like that.
Okay. I see Marcus right here. He just put something in. He said, I taught my sons it was okay to cry. It's an energy release. You know, so what's your thoughts about that?
Like I said, I think crying is a very healthy thing. Yes.
And so, and that's probably
movies now. Like I seen a recent movie. It was a black male. I can't think of the movie. I keep trying to think about it. But anyways, he had a crying moment. Like, and it was surprising because I'm like, I never seen nobody like portray that in a movie. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they're trying to introduce mental health into, just like they're trying to introduce homosexuality into like the big screens and the you know, in the TV or whatever. I feel like people are starting to use this platform to normalize things. And when I seen that, I was so happy for some reason because I was like, it was a strong moment because he's a strong man. In the movie, he portrayed to be like a strong man, and he cried with no like, oh, I'm scared. I don't want nobody to see me. You know, like it's my allergies. He really sat there and cried, and I think it was. Oh, you know what it was? What's that movie with the spaceships, the black people, HBO? Lovecraft. Or whatever it's called.
I'll say I'm not into
Lovecraft. Okay, so he cried a lot.
Shout out to damn Lovecraft though. Yeah. I don't know who watching it, but somebody watching it over here.
It's a popular show. It's a popular show.
I might have to catch it.
It's on HBO Max.
It's kind of like the Wink and Drink app. You know what I'm saying? You ain't know about the Wink and Drink app till today. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's about to come. You know what I'm saying? It's about to come. You about to get it. You know you got to get it. They've been waiting on it.
Oh, that Wink and Drink.
They've been waiting on that. A wink and drink. You say he's the party. A wink and drink. What? Hit him, G. It's 5 o'clock. It's time to leave. I dig into my pockets, pull out my car keys, grab my wallet, walk out the front door. Unlock my phone, open the app store. I need a place to meet and think. Found a brand new app called Wink and Drink. Yeah. It's Wink and Drink. Hey. It's Wink and Drink. Come on. It's Wink and Drink, a brand new app where people meet. Come on. Yeah. It's Wink and Drink. Hey. It's Wink and Drink. It's Wink and Drink, a brand new app where people meet. Shout out. She said she didn't drink. It wasn't drink. You know what I'm saying? She told on there. She waited till the Wink and Drink app hit, money hit.
Because you keep tempting
you know what I'm saying?
Her. You keep like
Wink and Drink.
To peer pressure my friend
I'm not doing
into
that.
winking and drinking.
Hey, do me a favor. Pull that mic out for me. Out of that holder. Oh, no, saying pull it out of the holder. Yeah, okay. So just different times, it passes to her. You know what I'm saying? Because certain times. No, because I want to ask you something, Monique. You in here? I want to ask you something.
And that's another mental health professional that you know we can have another great insight from.
There you go.
Even though we are mental health professionals, but like still, you know, being a social worker and a counselor is still very different and different perspectives. So I think it'd be great to hear her perspective.
Yeah. So Monique, hey, tell everybody who you are real quick.
Okay, so my name is Monique Conway.
Yeah, a little close. There you go. There you go.
Projects.
It wasn't projecting right then.
Okay. So yes, Monique Conway. Okay. I am a licensed clinical social worker associate and licensed clinical addiction specialist associate.
Okay, and you just recently moved to Houston, right?
Recently moved to Houston.
From the great state of where?
North Carolina.
Shout out to my damn state.
Via Maryland.
Okay, we talk about that later on. But she came from North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? All day. That's what she did.
Eagle Pride.
Eagle Pride. You know what I'm saying? She from Central. You know, she did damage up there in Durham. Caused all kind of problems around there.
Did nothing.
That's what she did. But it's all good. So,
but yes, that is where I did a lot of my mental health and all of that training in North Carolina.
That damn right. That's where the damn training come from. You better start acting like it wasn't in damn Chapel Hill, Durham area. You know what I'm saying? But you need to come out here, so you good now.
Yes.
You know.
So believe in mental health out here, so you'll thrive.
So now,
y'all do.
It's really from this standpoint here, right? I asked the question, okay, where do you think this thing needs to come in at, right? At what point do we start getting into people? Well, one of the places I think is like platforms like this, right? Like she just said, TV, right? Commercials, normalizing it, right? Because one, like I said before, we had a conversation we had on the phone, it's so many times that people think, and I tell you, men, I know men from a general standpoint, they have the hardest, black men, they have the hardest thought of counseling, therapists, anything. And I promise you, probably over 90% of them have some type of childhood trauma you know what I'm saying, or some type of issue, I promise you, and they think they can fix it, and they get older, it resurfaces on them, you know, because it never left. They just kind of pushed it away with everything, all the party and fun they had, they pushed it away, right? But now, somebody take a stance, right? Because you see these platforms, they'll talk about one thing, right? Oh, we're gonna talk about business. Oh, we're gonna talk about trucks. Oh, we're gonna talk about partying. Oh, we're gonna talk about, you know what I'm saying, cars. But who is brave enough to be like, you know what, my platform could be everything, but at the same time, you know, mine just happen to be business and mental and physical wellness. That is my platform. All things business. Because why? Like I said, the physical aspect comes with it and the mental aspect comes with it. I watch business owners every day. I talk to business owners every day. And man, you talking about stress? Not eating right?
Entrepreneurship is a whole nother beast of stress.
Come on now.
It's a whole different lifestyle. Like you said, it's lack of sleep. Because if I'm not working, if I'm not making the money, like if I'm not grinding,
right,
ain't no money coming in.
Ain't no money coming in.
It's a one-man show. Marketing, accounting,
what?
Like
everything. Right.
One-man show.
And so who do they talk to? The other entrepreneur who's going through the same thing? Do you think they got a grasp on it? They really don't either. Because they're not talking to anybody. Right? You know, so, but somebody has to do it. Somebody has to say, you know what, bump that. We're going to bring some people in. We're going to talk. We're going to normalize
or even
it.
normalizing it. Because again, like, why should I go? I mean, I'm so busy already. Why should I even go just like talk to somebody? And sometimes I think people underestimate the power of having an unbiased person giving you a different perspective. Like you and everybody around you has been stuck in that situation, has somebody removed to give a different perspective. It's not so much of therapy. I mean, you could speak for it as well. I'm never in a position where I'm telling my client what to do. Like I'm not going. Don't ask me what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. We can do some pros and cons. I'm gonna remind you of what you said your expectations were, of the things that you want to work towards, and then we could talk about. So you said you want to do this. So you know, you say you want to lose weight, but you was eating them cookies. Is that aligned with what you just said? So that's my job, is just to hold you accountable for the things that you said, and then also give a different perspective.
And people underestimate the value of true catharsis.
Come on, projection. I know you projecting, but you ain't projecting.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You go.
See, it was a learning curve for me too, sis.
It's okay. It's okay. We're here now.
Boy, y'all, shout out to them. They're going to support each other. I don't give a damn what happened. The man say something. Listen, they're going to comfort it and support each other. And you got to love it.
But people really underestimate how valuable being in a cathartic and healthy environment is.
You ain't gonna use all them damn big ass words around here now. Everybody don't know them words down. You ain't not coming to North Carolina from North Carolina with them words now. Everybody don't understand them.
See, that's that NC State.
I know. Y'all,
that's what that is.
Damn Wolfpack.
But the whole premise behind catharsis, it's literally the therapeutic piece of just being able to talk out what it is that you're going through.
Okay.
People think that, and we have been trained as a community that you deal with it. Right. You don't talk about it. You take it to your grave.
Right.
And if you can't figure it out on your own, then what's wrong with you?
Then something's wrong with you.
Why you can't figure out your own problems?
Get on that mic. Get on that mic.
Why can't see? I'm so learning.
We back.
I got a little comfortable for a second.
Yeah, she did. That's shout out to in here. That's what they're gonna do. It make you comfortable. You can't fight it. You can't fight. Come here all tight 1 minute. And you
get that shoulder.
You know what I'm saying?
But no, again, why can't you fix your own problems?
And that is the thing. You sit there and tell people that you have less value without the ability to solve your own problems. And then when you look at men, you tell them, well, you only have value when you have the ability to solve someone else's problems.
Right.
You can't solve your own, but I'm supposed to come to you to expect you to solve mine. Right. So now we've put inside this complete element of that is completely unrealistic. It's unreliable.
Right.
So how are we supposed to, as a community, do that? And a lot of, like you were saying, a lot of the men who are in therapy now, they're not the men at ground zero. They're not the men who are continually perpetuating these stereotypes.
The boots on the ground guys. They're not.
They're not the ones who are saying, no, you can't go to therapy.
Right.
Those men are very, they know that
Unga bunga.
Brad down the street has been in therapy since he was 12.
They already know.
So
we know, we know who them in damn therapy.
It's not them as much. It's, the folks who don't have the access, especially like you were talking about with, the hospitals. So you're absolutely right. It's trying. And I think reaching a lot of the men
right
is going to.
Now, how do we do that part right there?
Conversation,
somebody.
Normalizing some of these conversations.
I know, but who's gonna have the conversation?
Even among men. Even among men, like, when's the last time you done really checked in with your boys and been like, how you really doing, man? Like, how you feeling? I know, with COVID, business been stressful. Like you said, a lot of highly successful men. And like you just said, highly successful people come with high stress. And when's the last time y'all genuinely just did a check-in?
And that's what I'm saying. Unga bunga, Captain Caveman. That's what happens.
And then was the last time y'all been able to have that conversation? Not nobody be like, dog, you weak, or that's you tripping.
And that's why I'm saying
you just mad because
Captain
old
Caveman.
lady did this.
See, you're hitting my point. You understand? These individuals are high performing individuals, right? They're running around like Captain Caveman. So when you do come up to them and be like, yo, you good, bro? Oh man, you know I'm good, man. You know how I do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what we do. That's the response. Why? Because as soon as they say, man, they might have that one friend they can go talk to, but it's not like you're not going to the crew and telling them, oh yeah, man, you're not doing that.
But I also see we have a lot of men in here. Like, wow, I would love to hear some of the responses.
Oh, we're gonna hear them. Hold on.
Of the men in here.
Tony,
we're ladies. We can only give such a perspective of why men don't share. I mean, us ladies, I would say we're more open to telling.
I'm not asking
friends.
from you being a lady standpoint. I'm asking you from you being a professional standpoint. Oh. So that's the point I'm asking from.
Got you.
I trust me, I know plenty of women. The women game. Shout out to the women I know. All of y'all. Shit, I know a lot of y'all. No, and I'm not saying it in that manner. I'm just saying.
Home remedies for 2 weeks.
Yeah, what Tony talking about?
Go to the dentist.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, what Tony say?
Tony say? If y'all got all the issues, he ain't going nowhere.
That's my dog.
It's the home remedies for me, Tony.
Hey,
boys be on Pinterest, DY, and it.
Hey, listen, no. and Tony gonna call in too. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So you get ready
Tony
for it.
To go ahead, get the old school talk boy, so that he can, talk about his feelings and then just slide that to somebody.
But again, like, as from a professional point of view, I think it's just difficult. We've been trained like this, like systematically.
Right.
Like, this is like what we're trained to to do. It's a very unfortunate. Like, it's not normal. However, if you go talk to like Billy or Bob, like, oh, well, my mom's been seeing a therapist since all I've known, or, my parents told me I was having a hard time. Like, it's normal for them. Like, whenever our kids, oh shoot, my bad.
I'll be trying to do without saying something.
And then, so, whenever they tell their kids it's normal, our kids acting up, we're not trying to take them to no doctor, but don't nobody need to give my kids no medication. Right. Like, we're not trained at any point of like seeking medical or mental health attention. Like, and then, unfortunate another fact, a lot of my clients, like, whenever they are to the point where they're seeking them, well, I just ended up with you because, like, you're the only Black therapist that was there. Like, I can't even find nobody who, like, looks like me. So it's a lot of obstacles that we have to face, or like a lot of obstacles to even get to the point of wanting help. That's before you even say I need help. Then once you acknowledge it, it's like, I'm still facing obstacles. Oh, it's how much, or what, or do my insurance cover, or what does my insurance do? Like,
What Marcus says, so true. Men don't generally share their weaknesses or what could be perceived as weakness. And that's just 100% fact. You know what I'm saying? Because the one thing men guard, you know what I'm saying? No matter what, and that's with anybody, men or women, is not the insecurities. What's the word I'm looking for? Their vulnerabilities. Like, vulnerabilities is something like we want to take these to our grave. Why? Because if we give them to anybody, you feel what I'm saying? We honestly lose a portion of us. It's one of those things that we feel. I'm telling you how men feel, just in general. You know what I'm saying? If we give a piece of our vulnerability to you, okay, Monique, if I say, hey, here's a piece of my vulnerability, I know you cannot safeguard or carry or handle the weight of my vulnerability, even if I tell you. But what I've done, I just took a big chunk of me out that I could never put back again. It's like me taking a body part off that I can't reattach, and I give it to you. That's how strong we feel about our vulnerability. So now, to not even give that to our spouses, our girlfriends, you know what I'm saying? To give it to another man, oh my gosh, like, that is big. And so now when a guy goes to see a therapist, right, I'm telling you, this is what happens in a lot of cases. Okay, let me sit down here with this textbook stuff you about to try to hit me with. This is the guy now. Okay, yeah, how do you even know? One, if it's a female, okay. You ain't even a guy, so you know you're gonna understand. I'm sitting assessing whether you in a relationship or not, where you don't understand men at all, or you even deal with men or like men. You know what I'm saying? So you probably biased about when it comes to men. You only think from a woman's perspective anyway. Or you so pro woman that one, you're not even gonna hear nothing I gotta say. Okay, so now let me talk to the guy. Now you with a guy. Oh, you one of them weak jokers anyway. You know what I'm saying? You all kumbaya. This is what he's saying to the male counselor.
Just like not kumbaya.
This is what he's saying to the male counselor, right? Because think about it. They're tough as homeboy. You know what I'm saying? If it's one of those people that's boots on the ground. They're not even sharing their vulnerability with them. Well, yeah, go on past the mic. You know what I'm saying? Like Cassie. DJ Cassidy.
You gotta understand too, ain't too many people promoting for guys or black guys to be therapists.
Shout out to that right there. You're 100% true.
Like, you know, they, like you say, would have to be a person that understands and, you know, just I don't know what word to say, gentle, so to speak. So you don't have many that everybody's supposed to be working construction or, you know, just these male gender roles or whatever. But that's all I say.
Okay. No problem with that. Yeah, take that. Go ahead, take it. Because I feel you got something on that.
I do think that. I think that a lot of times it's very difficult for men to do that. And again, there's a lot of different obstacles that come along with that, with being vulnerable, with actually letting my guard down, knowing who to let my guard down with as well. So I think for them, it's like you said, I think there's a lot more steps to it, especially with a therapist. Like an example, you said, I've had a client, a couple walk in, and the man was very vocal. He was like, oh, she young and she ain't even married. What we doing here? Like he openly said that to my face, but it's like, and I had to explain to him in the lobby in front of everybody that it brings a different perspective. Like we said before, it's not that I know your life, I know your struggle. I'm not trying to by any means say that I know your life or I know your struggle. However, I'm trying to give you the tools to figure out, how do you deal with that stress? How do you identify different boundaries? What is going to be your new priority so that you can make space and time for yourself? Because a lot of the times, especially with males, y'all moving and grouping so much. When's the last time y'all even had time to sit and like identify your own emotions? Like if I'm going to work all day thinking up the next business move, I'm home, I'm trying to tend to my wife, I'm trying to tend to my kids, I'm trying to catch up on Sports Center, like I'm trying to eat too. Like when's the last time you probably laid down and like mentally checked in with yourself, like, bro, are you good? Like even before you asked a friend. Like a lot of people, even women, we're so go like we don't check in with ourselves until we're sick, our body has already broken down, like we're hitting like delirium because we're already not sleeping. I mean, like we don't check in with ourselves like as a normal thing. And especially us as Black people, kind of like Tony said, he don't address things so things go wrong. I got a toothache, then I'll go to the doctor. I got a pain, then I'll go to the doctor. Whereas like mental health, or sometimes like you get a physical to check in, mental health, why not every time? Like even if you just checking in with yourself like monthly, like how am I doing? Like we done been through COVID. I mean, when you've experienced other traumas like death, they killing Black people for sport on TV. Like when's the last time like you just like checked in with yourself?
Hey, read that what Tony just wrote up there.
It's like, have you ever seen a lion walk with a limp? That's true. It knows to show its weakness to the buzzards will be circling. So I can see how we keeping things to ourselves and work it out on our own. It's our nature. I think that there's a big difference between nature versus nurture. And I think that as a Black community, the nurture and the environment that we have been through has trained us that way. I would not say that it's naturally nature. I do think there are some things that are nature, like men wanting to be protective and wanting to be strong. But I think that it's more nurture because of the fact that, again, the things that Black men have had to endure through like the last 100 years, like I think that weighs more on how minority men handle themselves. Because again, some of these same trends, unfortunately, we don't see in our other racial or other counterparts. So I don't think that it's nature. I think it's more of like nurture in our environment.
Okay. What's your thoughts, Monique?
So
you gotta put it mic up.
1000% agree on that nature versus nurture, what you're saying there. The other piece, and you kind of alluded to it as well, it's not so much the fact of having vulnerability, because we know as humans, everyone has vulnerability.
True.
It's the shame that we attach to vulnerability. And telling someone else that despite your own lived experience, despite me knowing that you have vulnerabilities, despite me knowing that you have trouble, that you have shame, there's no possible way you can understand my vulnerability or my shame or the things that have been attached to it. And then when you start to look at other cultures, they don't attach shame to vulnerability. They
do you think it's because there's a different walk?
Definitely.
No, it's a normal. There's the different walk.
There's a different walk that our culture that we have.
But there's a normalization to mental health, and I recognize this when I worked. I've worked in methadone clinics.
Okay.
So all of my folks have had, severe opiate addiction. There is severe normalization to mental health.
Okay.
When you look at white communities and communities of color across the board.
Okay.
So they welcome it. It's that ability to put something to say, oh, okay, well, I have a reason for why I'm like this, as opposed to with Black culture. Oh, well, it's my culture to have to be this strong. It's my culture to have to keep this to myself. It's my culture to recognize there's something wrong, but I can't talk about it.
Right.
So and that's where that shame comes in, because it's now all of a sudden, if I talk about it, oh, you're different than the rest. And so just like what you were saying, it's that nurture piece, that trained, I won't even say helplessness, but that trained piece of, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. There can't be anything wrong with you, because now you stand out from everyone else. And it makes you vulnerable.
And can you get that back once you stand apart? You know what I'm saying? Once you're different than everybody else in that group, especially from being an African-American male, right? Can you get that back with that group? Clinically, maybe. But do you really think in actuality you can get that back?
Do you want it back?
Well,
good question, because if you want to get something back, you got to be willing to put in the work to get it back.
Right. But what I'm saying is this right here. So once it goes back to what Tony was saying, the lion, right? The limping lion. Okay. Once the other lions understand, I know he's talking from the buzzer perspective, but once he's around those other lions, right? If he goes around those other male lions and he's limping, right? And they know he's limping, they know this. When he comes back to the pack, they know he's weak at that point. They know it. So will he regain his place? Do you think in reality now? I'm not talking about clinically.
When we're saying the pack, we talking about your homies or your pack the world?
Right.
We're our world.
Because I about to say, if it's your homies, they should have your back and they should help build you up. So
I know it should.
Or even if we talk in the world, I'm gonna have a squad that's gonna hide me out and help me heal back, and then I'm coming back with a vengeance. So
right, but we're talking from a vulnerability standpoint, not from a
vulnerability.
Homeboy
no.
Remember, we were saying like we're not even talking to our homeboys about our vulnerability.
But that's one thing I want to. But let's talk about that. I think that a lot of people underestimate the fact that your vulnerability can turn into your strength.
And we know
once you learn. So that's what I'm saying. So when I'm talking about, it's not even like a homeboy standpoint. Like even if it's me as an individual, if I address some of those vulnerabilities and I heal from some of those, I can come back a bigger and a better and a stronger person, because now my self-doubt, that shame that was associated with that, I've let that go. So even if I'm not talking about even from a vengeance point of view, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable and to properly heal, you come back even better. Like you said, if I have this broke ankle, but I keep trying to sit on it, or I'm avoiding it and I'm gonna keep wobbling on it, versus if I lay down and be vulnerable and take that time to heal and address it and regroup, you can come back stronger and better.
And see, I'm not doubting the dynamics of that. I'm not doubting.
So I'm missing the question.
No.
I hear what you're saying. But the interesting piece is you and Tony are kind of overlooking one potential piece. The lion isn't not showing that limp or that weakness so that those in the pack have, this entire, oh, well, now he's weak. He's not showing that so that other predators don't come in and try to take other things and try to overtake. Typically, when you have a lion, especially if he's that alpha male in that pack, the entire pack, regardless of what is going on around you, they are there to protect you. And they recognize that without you, nothing else goes.
Well, those are lionesses. See, what I'm talking about is a pack of lions, the male lions. I'm not talking about
males.
I'm not talking about the male lion who protects the pride. All those are lionesses. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not talking about that perspective. You know what I'm saying? He used the analogy of the lions as far as, to get you to understand the limping and the buzzards. I took that away.
Want your spot.
Right. all I'm saying is this, no, it's not even about spot. I'm just saying as men, right? I'm just trying to tell y'all, I'm a dude,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? And how dudes are. You know, we don't really give our vulnerability away to other men. Even in our group, we don't do that, is what I'm saying.
But then I think your initial question was, how do we change that?
And I'm asking that.
And I think that's a great way of changing it by
right.
And again, this one, like I know I'm the professional, but also I'm not a black male or a male.
Right.
It's going to be figuring out how can we break those stereotypes where you can be vulnerable
Mhm.
with your male friends. Like I can't tell another male how to be vulnerable. I can't tell another male how to be receptive. So I think again, the key thing is going to be communication. Like I said, for females, like we can go to our friends and be vulnerable.
True.
So I can't understand, like, you know, I mean, I'm saying like discounting it, but like it would take another male to educate me on how to tell another male like how to be vulnerable.
No,
I mean, I can tell them how to do it to their spouse, but like with your boys, like I can't really guide that.
Well, I know that, but I mean, there's no male professional in here, so I'm just asking because you talk to, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can ask females anything, you know what I'm saying? You know, but to have professionals, y'all are professionals. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I like Ron Woodard's comment.
Yeah, let's see what Ron talking about. Ron
going to see a therapist was the best thing I could have done. It allows me to open and blah blah blah. It allows me to be open and share my feelings until I was ready to go through let go. How I was brought up. I couldn't truly accept me.
Okay, that's cool right there. And you know what, Rod? We're gonna, you know, when we get to that portion of the show, because we're gonna have people call in, because they do call in on the show.
Okay.
Don't act like we don't have no call-ins on my show. This is what we do. This is interactive. And I told you better go and get your drink together, because we're gonna have some questions up in here. They're gonna talk to everybody up in here. Hold on. Because I want to get some of these people's comments in right quick to make sure we don't overrun anybody. I got 3 people on deck right here. Marcus here should pop up here in a second. Let's see what Marcus says. Marcus said it's also the fear of someone using your vulnerability against you. Okay. Definitely that, you know, and that is shame. You know what I'm saying? It's shame. It's just men. It just, you know, it's.
I mean, I'm about to say everybody kind of deals with shame and like vulnerability.
Right. Okay, let's see what Don says. I think you gonna read it, Doc.
I think because as men we are built to be the backbone, and we don't want to show any vulnerabilities and have our kids or our wife carry that burden and stress that comes with that. Why does it have to be a burden? Especially for me, if I'm your spouse, like I got your back, like you rocking, I'm rolling. Like if it's something you going through, we're gonna work through it together. Like, And
you need to be well in order to lead me. So of course I want you to be well.
Say it again. Hold up now. What did you just say?
I was saying, as a woman, you won't be like they say, if you can't help yourself, how you gonna be able to help others? So if you don't fix yourself up and you mentally not there if you're not there mentally, how are you going to protect me? How are you going to be able to have a sane mind to handle those leadership roles? So you do have to take care of yourself. Because somebody else asked, like, who needs to see a therapist? Everybody. Even Leah needs to see a therapist, and she's a therapist.
I think they need to see therapists more than anybody.
Exactly. Like everybody
they need
needs
to jump on
someone
the
to talk to. Like
it's
I
a
was
form of
taught that.
self-care.
Like,
yes,
you need that, and so I really think men feel like, dang, I lost my thought.
It's all right. It's all right. Don't lose your thought. Come on, you got it. You got it.
Oh, I was also, when y'all was talking about how to fix it.
Okay.
I mean, it'll take a while, but it starts with you. So if it's you and your homeboys, sometimes all you gotta say is, y'all, man, I went to try this therapist today. Like, or like somebody say, what you did today? Oh, I went to therapy. Maybe that's a lot for a man. You know what I'm saying? But then your homeboys might be like, man, how was it? And then it was cool. It wasn't that bad. And then somebody might else say, oh, for real, I've been thinking about that. And then it opens up that conversation.
Right.
But who's to say that who's going to be that person in the group to admit that they're going to go to therapy?
There you go. Who's going to be the one to give up that vulnerability and say that they went?
But you can promote it by you being that first person, because like if it wasn't for Leah, then maybe I wouldn't have thought about going to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Or like,
hey, Don, I'm about to hit you. Keep talking.
Yeah. So I just think that you be the influence to and make that change for you and the homies. Like, but it's gonna have to start with you going.
Okay, that's cool. Hey, Don, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Don.
What's going on, boss?
Hey, man. Hey, give me some insight on this right here, and so you can kind of clarify what you're talking about here, if you don't mind.
So what I'm saying is, yes, I agree 100%. Like, you're supposed to be able to carry your spouse. I mean, be able to talk to your spouse. But for me, I mean, I've always been, I can handle it. But when does it come to a point that I take everything to her? And then when does it become a point where it's too much for her? Maybe my vulnerabilities are a little bit too much. Baby, I'm stressing again today, or I'm going through this today. Because, our spouse isn't always built like we are. That's just what I think. And I think that I'm built to handle a lot. But when does that fine line, where's that fine line where me taking my vulnerabilities to her and my stress to her becomes too much for her, where it starts to drag her down as well? You kind of get what I'm saying?
Well, I know I can only speak from my personal experience. Me and whoever my spouse is, we're going to be in line with God. So yes,
Right.
we're going to talk about our problems, but then we're going to also give it to him and we're going to let him go. And that's also
Awesome.
even in counseling. I tell people to use your spirituality or use your coping skills. And I know like a lot for men, like we can talk about it, but at some point we're going to be solution focused.
Okay.
Well, I know for
Right.
me, I can only speak for myself. Yes, we can have the problems, but we're not going to talk about them every single day. It's going to be like more about how can we fix it? What are small steps that we can do to work towards it? How can we improve that? Even the same thing in therapy, setting small goals in order to make progress to address the situation.
So what you about to say,
I
Monique?
like that.
Because Monique, you about to say something. Go ahead and say it. Before she chokes herself with the cord.
But one of the biggest things is we typically underestimate our partners. And have you ever stopped to ask your partner, not assume, but stop to ask them, is this too much for you? Like, how do you feel about us having these conversations? Does this work for you? Or do you feel like I need to get somebody else? Like, should I, really be talking to somebody else? Like, can you handle this? If you can't handle it, baby, I'll take it back.
Right.
And giving that opportunity for them to, ooh, I'm glad you asked. Or, no, I'm glad I'm glad you're telling me about it. I needed to know this is how you were feeling. But again, it's that assumption that it's a burden. It's the assumption that you can't handle the things that I'm going through, despite you're supposed to be walking beside me as we're going through this together. Despite these things that I'm feeling have an impact on you, and I'm trying to hide as if they have an impact on you, you don't allow that person insight into what you feel that they can deal with or are allowed to deal with in your marriage or in your partnership. That's unfair to them. That's not a partnership. You're now being a dictator in your relationship by saying you
but do you
can't
think it's
handle
been
this.
a dictator, or you just want to shield?
You want to
shield.
I think it's assuming. But see, then again, that goes to another part. You said shielding, and I think
I'm asking a question.
Okay, well,
do you think it's shielding?
It could be,
right?
Because sometimes I think that again, men still want to be the provider. They still want to be. So again, that means you got to drop your vulnerability just a little bit more.
But I hear the shielding. I hear the provider.
Right.
But when you leave me out, because your mental health is still a part of you and it's still a part of our relationship. So when you, with intention, leave me out of that portion and say that you're leaving me out of it because I can't handle it, but then you also don't take it upon yourself to handle it yourself. Yes, that is now a form of dictatorship where you're saying what the guidelines and what the rules are in this relationship when it comes to my own mental health.
I can't say I agree with the dictatorship part. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's just a bad assumption.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I can't. You know
which is fine. It's a
just on the mic though.
My bad.
That's dictatorship.
Yeah, now that I agree.
In that regard,
these are not my rules to make.
You know what I'm saying? No, it's so the thing can pick up your voice the right way.
And so it's a harsh word, but it's a harsh word with intention. And it's one of those harsh words with intention to get your because now at that point you argue against the word dictatorship to prove how badly you want the partnership. Right. I'd rather have that conversation all day and night than you arguing about why I can't include them in this piece.
So is it safe? I'm asking, is it safe to say that men should give all the vulnerabilities to whoever they're made?
I don't know about
not whoever, but what I'm saying, I'm just saying like either they're in a person in a relationship with.
I mean, I feel like the people men can confide in siblings. They can also confide in family members. Like, I'm not saying like solely their mate. If they do have a male that they can be vulnerable with, like I do know guys that are vulnerable with each other, or they have their friends that they're close with. True. So again, it doesn't have to be everything, but somebody that you can confide in. And ideally, I'm assuming if you're making somebody your spouse or your companion, I would want them to be a support, or I would feel as if that I could be vulnerable to like with them to some extent.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. So what I was saying, and this, I mean, I love the show at this point because I've never actually thought about, going to a therapist, but my communication is open, and whenever you're vulnerable, I think you guys are absolutely correct. You have to find a solution and be solution based. But me knowing my spouse, and when I say maybe she's just not as strong as I am because that's the way that I was built, I feel like I'm connected to her. My energy, I feel her energy, and I know when things may be a little bit, okay, now that's too much. And I just find a solution and do it myself. Or maybe it is the fact that I need to see a therapist. But that was the only reason why I posed the question, because I don't want to give her all my vulnerability and have it be too much. If I feel her energy, and maybe she had a bad day, but if that's the only person that I truly confide in, that I trust with all my vulnerabilities, then she's the one that I'm going to talk to. And I was just wondering if there was a fine line to maybe, okay, handle that on your own, or just be an open book and give her everything that we face, because entrepreneurship is hard and you go through it. But I've learned along the way how to be solution based and handle it myself. Yes, in the moment I could give it all to her, but I find if I just sit down, meditate, reflect myself, and go about it the next day, I can maneuver through it. But in that moment that I feel something, if I was to give it to her all the time, then I would fear that she would, because we are connected, she would be trying to find a solution as well. And that can be stressful. And I've never thought about a therapist, but hearing the show, I think it is self-care, and I'm appreciative of you guys. I just wanted to open it up like that and just get your thoughts on that. I appreciate it.
Hey, shout out the platforms. So now
I didn't hit my goal for tonight. I just want to change somebody's perspective on therapy. I didn't hit my goal for tonight. Hold on, now
you act like you did this shit by yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's what you ain't gonna do. I told y'all. No. I'm better than that. So no, what I'm saying is, when I asked the question, how do we change this, right? And I said, platforms. That's what I said.
And this was a great platform
because
to be on.
So many platforms are out here, right? They can talk about sports, they can talk about cars, they can talk about all this stuff like that. But who is talking about mental and physical wellness, right? And that's how we start to change. Because I'm telling you, I'm telling you, to be down in the men's boots on the ground, I got it from a clinical sense and stuff like that. What you're talking about, is wonderful. Everything you're saying is wonderful. But the reality of it, you know what I'm saying, and the viewpoints and the way they see men who probably, they could come at them a certain way, like, yo, man, come on, you need to go over here, this counseling or whatever. They're not feeding off that. Not saying it's not hitting a spot now. It might be hitting a spot with them, and the person might, inside they're just like, okay, damn, maybe I do, but outwardly they're not going to say anything. But I think in certain platforms, if you can get people who believe in the people who probably have the platforms, you understand? And they're not directly pushing, but they're opening and bringing people in to talk these things. You know what I'm saying? Why you think I didn't? Why you think I'm like, it's perfect. I want you to come here. You know what I'm saying? When she's on here, it works out perfect. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, shout out to what I be doing. Y'all don't know what I be doing around here. They think I'm just a little country boy from North Carolina.
You know what I mean? Because it changes perception. Like if you didn't have this platform to where we can sit and talk to these beautiful ladies about therapy, like we have our own perception of what therapy is because of what we've been taught. But to actually hear it, like, it's a form of self-care where you can kind of work out the issues. It gives me a whole new perspective on what therapy actually is because of what I've been taught in the past. So I appreciate the platform.
Hey, man, we appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate Princess Leia. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the crew. You know what I'm saying?
And the crew.
And the crew doing it up
and
here.
pour up some tequila for me one time.
You know? Oh, they done poured it. You know what I'm saying? It's been poured, Don. It's been poured.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You know, shout out to all the pouring going on. You know, I'm over here my pineapple doing the strong. You know how I do it, Don.
Sipping and winking and sipping.
Why you even say that? Why did you even do that? You already know it's about to come. All right, Don, I'm gonna hang up with you. I don't want you to hear this thing too loud on the phone. You know what I'm saying?
All right, G.
All right. Wink and drink what?
Oh, wink and drink.
A wink and drink what? A wink and drink what? Hell, G. It's 5 o'clock. It's time to leave. I dig into my pockets, pull out my car keys, grab my wallet, walk out the front door, unlock my phone, open the app store. Hey, I need a place to meet and think. Found a brand new app called Wink and Drink. Yeah, it's Wink and Drink. Hey, it's Wink and Drink. Come on, it's Wink and Drink, a brand new app where people meet. Come on, it's Wink and Drink. Hey, it's Wink and Drink. It's Wink and Drink, a brand new app where people meet. Shout out to damn Vanessa. Vanessa just said she's gonna be in damn Houston for 2 weeks, coming in on the 25th. You know what I'm saying? And she said we're gonna be winking and drinking. You know what I'm saying?
All right, wink and drink.
You know what I'm saying? That's the CEO of the app right there.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
that's
So,
why she's winking and
yeah,
drinking.
she's
Hey,
winking and
Vanessa,
drinking.
girl.
Vanessa
I
be doing
be
her thing.
downloading it.
Princess Leia was trying to be all funny, didn't want to download the app. You know what I'm saying? Well, we got to download it though. So she ain't.
I can find other tequila connoisseurs.
You know what I'm saying? But isn't that like
My tequila
genius?
sister.
I love tequila.
Isn't
It's
that
my
genius?
favorite.
You know what I'm saying? It's genius, right? Let me hit my boy Tony. Cause Tony got something
Tony
going
got
in.
something to say.
Tony got something to say. Tony bring that thing. Tony, the other country boy like
I
me.
have a question
Did say
for
you have a
Leah
question,
while
yes.
we're getting Tony.
Okay, what's going on?
What are your thoughts on someone having all of your vulnerabilities and
Ooh.
you being that person and the only person that you're sharing with?
I think that's unhealthy.
Why is that?
I think that because then all your decisions would be consumed by that one person's perspective. And again, that's the benefit of therapy, like having different perspectives to make rational and logical decisions.
Right.
I don't think one person can solely do that for somebody. So no, I'm an advocate of like having more than one support.
Not giving them too much, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Put too much weight on them.
Exactly.
What's
That
your
would be
thoughts,
heavy
Monique?
for that one person.
What's your thoughts?
I absolutely agree that it's unhealthy. That's why people talk about having support circles and having a support group.
Mm-hmm.
It is not my support being.
Mm-hmm.
It is not my support solely. And that's when it starts to become, oh, you're now reliant on this person and you now become dependent on not even so much their perspective, but just their ability to be there and to take in and take things off of you. That's when it can start to be a lot. And I think that's kind of like what Don is talking about a little bit, where it's just, well, if I'm putting everything on her,
it can be very enmeshed.
Yeah, because then she has hers and yours. And who does she unload on? Because now she's not going to feel like she can come back to you with nothing because you can't even handle your own. And the dynamic is said, like, you know, women, they want a man who can handle their own. You know what I'm saying? She even said, hey, I want you to be able to handle your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Before you come over here.
See, but you should also have the full expectation of me that I can handle my stuff.
And should.
But
that's still a lot to expect and assume.
Right. And I say that in that same cultural aspect of it, right? Not in that professional piece, but in that cultural aspect of, yes, you human should be able to solve and work on your stuff. And if you can't have the ability to reach out to someone who can help you do so, like Leah here.
That's right. That's a damn drum roll. I saw you. You see Leah with that. You know what I'm saying? She ready with that right there.
Because that's who you reach out to. It will not be
me. I'm here to help.
That's right. Leah's gonna help some people. You know what I'm saying? Leah's helping people. That's why she reached out. Because she believes in what she does. And that's what we need. We need people.
And I believe everybody needs to hear some of these conversations about mental health, how to access benefits and the benefits of just participating in the services.
Ooh, I know. Cause that back door open.
Top of the day to you. Top of the day to you.
What's going on in Big Tone? How we doing? This is Tony M right here. Everybody give a shout out to my homeboy Tony M. He's always here. Tony, we got some good conversation tonight, man.
Tony M.
Come on now.
I'm still trying to toss trying to juggle. I got to be the provider and the protector of our house all day.
Tony M, you left us.
Hold on, Tony.
We were interested to hear your perspective.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Tony left.
Hold on, no, he didn't leave. Hold on.
Vanessa said, hey girl, let us know when we're going to be winking and drinking.
Oh, don't mess with Vanessa on that wing and drink now.
She's a pro.
A wing and drink game strong. You know when you invent that, you know your game strong.
Oh, then we need to be best friends. Hi, Vanessa.
You need to. She's somebody you need to know. She's definitely somebody you want to know.
I'll be here the 26th.
Hello.
Hey, my T. I guess something happened over there, but we go ahead, brother. What you juggling?
Oh man, so juggling. I got to be the protector of my castle, right? And I don't know. I don't think I can show weakness amongst, in front of my wife, even if the threat's exposed. You know what I mean? So I may not be feeling grace that day, but I still got to put that shield on. You know what I mean?
You don't think that there could be a balance between like taking care of yourself and still being a protector?
Well, I do. I absolutely agree with you.
So what does that look?
But I can't show that weakness in the face of adversity.
And see that, and I'm telling you, it might be that country boy stuff in us. No, I'm being for real, because if we're bred a certain way, right? It's hard. It's hard, and that's why we have to look at people as individuals. You know what I'm saying? We can't group people and say that all men should be this way, all women should be a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm sure when y'all counsel somebody, it's on an individual basis. It's based off that person, right? So everybody is built a totally different way.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I get from what Tony is saying, and I may not be right, but it's just and I'm gonna say we because I'm probably the same way as Tony. My thing is we're meant or bred to compartmentalize those things.
Yeah.
And to make sure that I'm a provider. I'm the security. I'm gonna make sure, you know what I'm saying? That
there's a problem, I'm going to fix it.
Right.
Yeah.
You said your dad said you said yourself, Leah, your dad's like let's fix it.
Exactly.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that it's always healthy.
True. Okay, I'm not even saying it's healthy. But
yeah, I'm not either. I mean, so it's sort of like, even like I say, where I grew up at, a therapist wasn't even
a little bit. I hear you saying that I don't want to be vulnerable. I want to be the shield and protectant, but I do realize that this is unhealthy.
No, what I'm saying is I can't show vulnerability. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. Even because I wasn't raised that way.
But if we want to break like generational curses and norms and be able to keep a healthy balance between like self-care and also being a protectant, doesn't that mean we have to do something different?
That is if I recognize I have a problem.
Do you feel as if not being able to be vulnerable is a problem?
I never think about it.
Well, now I pose the question to you. So what are your thoughts?
I'm still not thinking about it. I'm not thinking of a time where I've been vulnerable and really needed a shoulder to lean on. You feel me? I don't know. Like I said, so for me, it's like, how would I know, coming from where I'm from, how would I know if I needed a shoulder to lean on, if I needed somebody to talk to? Are there some signs and symptoms that I'm going to have, or
Definitely. Like if you're not sleeping very well, your thought process, you're becoming more irritable, you're having a loss of appetite. Again, mostly if your thoughts become irrational. And irrational doesn't mean necessarily like, oh my God, I want to drive off a cliff, but irrational, like I'm not meeting these needs or I'm not successful because of this, when in reality that you are accomplishing a lot of things. Because a lot of the times that we're putting like societal norms or other things on the pressure of others because we want to be those protectors and be those shields, we're putting so much pressure on ourselves that sometimes it becomes overwhelming. And I think for a lot of African American men, y'all don't really sometimes at times know what overwhelming looks like because it's become such a norm for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably what I'm asking. I don't know what being overwhelmed looks like. I don't know what it feels like. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't know the signs of, hey, Tony, you need to go maybe, talk to somebody, or that's where I'm hung up on it. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure I could talk to my wife or talk to, my folks or whatever, my homeboys or whatever about whatever, you know what I mean? I'm sure there's some that would take me serious if I felt like I needed something to, or to really actually talk about it. I needed some feedback on something, but for me, it's just identifying whether or not I got an issue.
You know what? I think I can identify with it as well, because it's almost like kind of like when we just grow up and it's like, hey man, that's just what men go through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It becomes that right there.
Exactly.
That's it. And so we don't know. Like he's asking, okay, what he's really asking. I hear it in his voice. Okay, hey, what's the symptom?
Like,
you know
what
what I'm saying?
Look like?
What does it look like? You know what I'm saying?
It's like small things like loss of sleep, unhealthy appetite.
Right.
Also, again, being aware of like your thought process. A lot of the times a lot of people begin feeling it more physically than they do like more emotionally. Like if you find like a lot of like weight, like you're feeling like a lot of back stress, a lot of body pains, I'm feeling nauseous because I'm anxious all the time. Like a lot of times it'll show in your physical health some of those symptoms as well.
So let me ask you this, T. Do you think that when it comes to vulnerabilities, right? Do you think from the men you grew up around or you're around, do you think that's something that's easily unloaded?
No, So just thinking about it now, right? The only time I seen my dad cry, like really tear up, right? Only a couple times I've actually seen him do it is at the funeral and at the death of his mom, his dad, my grandparents, of course, on his side of the family, his sister, his baby sister. That's the only time I've ever actually seen my dad, just bawling, crying. You feel me?
Right.
And for me, it's like, I remember them days where mom was like, Tony, you okay? Tony, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, mom, I'm fine. I'm good, and she just keep asking, of course.
Right.
And send Annie to go, hey, go check on your nephew, go check on Tony. I'm like, Mom, hey, I'm good. I'm all right. It's the way I dealt with it, and still deal with death is, right, hey, nothing here lives forever.
Right.
So I just figured out at a young age, but I've never been that guy to just, like I said, I've just never been that guy yet. Anyway, in life,
Right.
I think I've been able to manage, things in life, like I say, whether it be the death of loved ones or whatever. I don't feel like I'm holding anything inside. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. So what are the symptoms?
Right.
And it's like, and I think, even if it comes to my uncles and all the peers, like as far as growing up, where I grew up at, it's pretty much the same thing, man. I never seen, like this song, I never seen a man die till I seen, that man cry, but I never seen my uncles and peers and dad or whatever. Never seen my grandpa shed a tear at all. And he was a military guy. So,
Some of those generational things that we underestimate play an impact on how we kind of live and express emotions. Because then for you, the question would be, how do I even know how to express emotions if I've never really even seen it growing up? Mm-hmm. Or do I even think that it's a norm if I want to express emotions? Because again, all the men that I look up to, they didn't do that. So if I'm doing it, like, is there something wrong with me, or should I do that? Or again, how do I even slightly go about doing that?
Mm.
So, and for me, so like, let's say even at the same scenario, death of my grandparents or whatever, you know, all I can remember is me, you know, not really, you know, shedding a tear, this, that, whatever, none, but I was just processing it. You know what I mean? Didn't have to talk to nobody about it. Didn't have to, you know, show something, you know, physically or outside of, you know what I mean? I'm just sitting there thinking about life and just processing things within my head. And I'm gonna miss this, I'm gonna miss that, whatever. But you know, when the sun came up the next day, you know, it was a new day. You know,
right?
I don't know. That's about. I don't know. I'm probably not making rhyme or reason, but you know, it's just. That's why I was asking, what are the symptoms, or you know. What's a telltale sign? I guess there really it changes from person to person or whatever. But you know, so but it's like at the same time, you know, when I was saying, you know, protect and provide or whatever, you know, we used to go hunting, this, that, whatever, you know, and back there, you know, sometimes you go out there, if daddy killed it, you had to go in the briar patch and get it. You know what I mean? So you know, you didn't say I'm scared to go in there. You know what I mean? It was just.
Right.
It's just let me run in here and grab it by a leg or tail or something and drag it out of here. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know, man.
That's crazy. That's not crazy, but I get is that I'm trying to tell you, and I think it's because we do country boys, Tony.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard for me to try to say what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? But you know. No, I don't know. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense. Like, you know what I mean?
So what are y'all guys interpreting? I know what he's saying, so I want to hear without trying to explain. What are y'all hearing?
What I hear is you're trained the way you've been trained since you were a child.
Condition.
And how right. And so, you know, we use those words interchangeably, that the way I was raised and the way I was trained. Raise up a child in the way they should go. Train up a child in the way they should go. Those words are consistently used interchangeably.
But conditions is different, right? If we're conditioned.
So conditioned actually takes more of the society that you're in into perspective, as opposed to only saying what this one particular person or what your parents did with intention. What you're conditioned to do has the capability to pull in outside factors, has the capability to pull in, okay, so this is what you were raised to do, but you were conditioned based on your environment to say this is or is not acceptable.
Right.
So if your parents were the only ones to say, we don't eat chicken on Thursdays, that was the way you were raised. Your conditioning is then going to say, well, what does everyone else around me think about that? What does society say is the norm? Am I outside of those normal constraints, and am I conditioned that this is okay? Or am I now being in the condition that this is not okay?
Right. And I think even with that, it's probably going to go to the point of the institutionalized aspect of it, as far as, you know what I'm saying, collegiate from a collegiate, like that. You get what I'm saying, of the understanding what conditions and what raised is. You know what I'm saying? Because I think there's a difference in thought processes based off of where we come from in our environment and what we see as conditioning, what we see as raising. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
So even when we're talking from that vernacular, in the sense of saying, hey, now this is what that is, and now we're confused. We're like, huh? That's not the way we take it, and it's not the way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We feel
because it's not the common way in which you're used to it being presented to you.
Right.
Which, and I think that's sort of that point. And even what Leah was saying, where this is how you were trained to be, but just because this was the training that we received and the conditioning that we received in our home, it doesn't make it to where it's the most healthy environment. It doesn't make it to where it's sustainable.
Right.
And even with what Tony is saying, sometimes everyone doesn't need that mental breakdown in order to get to the point of saying, hey, I need to see someone.
Right.
It's that inconsistency in thought, because sometimes, like you said, a lot of folks, they'll get that, physical piece with it, where it's you'll have it. Okay, I'm having headaches, I'm having nausea, things like that.
Right.
But some people is, I can't complete one thought without another one breaking in. I can't make a decision without automatically questioning it. So it's little things like that. Sometimes it isn't, I have a big mental breakdown, or,
just my day-to-day is deteriorating, or my productiveness is deteriorating.
And even just recognizing the value in what we were talking about, self-care, having those conversations with a mental health professional before it gets to that point. It doesn't have to be, because I think it sounds as if you have a very healthy view on grief. Grief may not be your trigger. It could absolutely be anxiety,
right,
around whether or not I can show vulnerability.
Maybe I've not met my trigger yet, or realized what my trigger might be.
And I think it's just what you said. It's the realizing what it is. And you will probably find out, your wife or your partner can probably tell you a lot faster what your trigger is than you can.
Okay. Well,
and that's always a fun conversation to have.
Well, yeah, because she gonna ask me a few times, "Hey, was something all right with you? Hey, what's wrong?" I'm like, "Damn, I'm fine. What's going on? Did I gain 2 pounds or something?
I look mad. I look stressed.
Yeah.
That's a dynamic. That really is a dynamic, And I guess we have to, be willing to kind of like, maybe even think about it when they're asking us, "Hey, you all right?" Instead of us being like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Maybe it might be one of those moments we're like, "Well, hold on.
Let me actually put some thought into that. Let me actually really check in with myself."
Right.
And that's what I do. I kind of, did I do something different than I not used to?
But an even simpler version of that.
Am I really okay?
All right, you asked me 3 times this week.
Did you notice something different?
Right.
And it goes so much further than, trying to take that internal inventory, because now you're about to go through the rest of your day second guessing everything you're doing. Like, do I normally separate the cars like this, or do I? Okay, well,
is this the wrong assumption?
I don't let it leave that long. I tell me what you see or not. I ain't gonna think about it for much longer. It's just the way I am. You know what I mean?
Or y'all go see Leah.
We could talk it through.
I could believe it. You know what I'm saying? For $250
no doubt.
An hour.
No doubt.
I'll listen to everything you got to say. Oh.
I accept insurance.
Until it maxes out for the day. No, I'm joking. shout out that damn insurance maxing out. I ain't did a shout out in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Well, with outpatient mental health services, it's very difficult to max out. So you can still come holler at your girl.
Come on now. Okay.
All day, all night. She's available for you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Not all night. I'm not a night out, but all day, all morning, early afternoon.
You do telehealth?
And evenings, yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to damn telehealth. You know what I'm saying?
Especially with COVID. Shout out to telehealth.
Yeah, listen, she'll talk to you in a minute. She'll roll over and had a hair bond. Yeah, what's that?
Camera still in the dark.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me turn this ring light real quick.
Yeah.
What does that look like there?
Hey Tony, I appreciate you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
thank you, Tony.
Appreciate the day. It's all love. Thanks you. A good, another great show, and till the next one. But I'm still on here.
Okay.
I'm still watching.
Yeah. We still got some conversation. I got a couple of meat and potato questions to ask. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
About this.
Yeah.
All right, T. I appreciate you, man.
All right, Lena.
Yeah. So, and that goes to the people say, I wish men would talk about this. Marcus says, great topic. I wish men would talk about this more. Hey, Marcus, when we put the number up, I want you to call in because I want to ask you a couple of things, especially about some earlier comments you had, because I want you to kind of express that a little bit so we can kind of get some feedback, if you don't mind, Leah.
No problem.
Oh, you okay? No, is it really?
No, why would you say that?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you. That's why people bring their friends here. Because their friends get in here to drink all this stuff up. Then they want to take a nap over there. Shout out to damn friends to come. And y'all ain't gonna see who she is, so it don't even matter. You'll never know who she is. So that's the good thing about being on that side of the table. People would never see you. See, that's why you can kind of say what you want to say, and we can talk about you. And it's all good.
Dictatorship.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold. That's like a damn wink drink moment right there. You know what I'm saying? Wink and drink. What? Wink and drink. What? Every time you hear that, she got to grab that glass.
Hit him.
Yeah, it's time o'clock. It's time to leave. I dig into my pockets, pull out my car key. Grab my wallet, walk out the front door. So this is where you get unlock my phone and open the app store. You might, I need a place to meet and think. Found a brand new app called Wink and Drink. Yeah, that's where you get comfortable now. It's Wink and Drink. Hey, it's Wink and Drink. Come on, it's Wink and Drink. A brand new
Is this how we get to the meat
app.
and
Come on, it's Wink and Drink. Hey, on the other side, it's Wink and Drink. It's Wink and Drink, a brand new app where people meet. Yeah, there you go. There you go. What's that? The camera's right there. How you? What angle?
On the
Yeah,
camera.
you good. All right. And then, shout out. Hello. Damn, you messed my shout out up over there. That's my drinks over there. You don't mess the damn shout out up. You can't be messing the shout
What
out
I do? I'm
Her.
focused.
She messed the shout out up. You know what I'm saying?
She's over there winking and drinking.
So, what'd you say? Oh, no, I'm good. I got Ciroc coming in.
Ooh, Ciroc is my favorite.
Shout out. Listen, don't act like we small over here. Don't act like we small. We doing it big over here. You know what I'm saying? So, Marcus said, even telling another man that not your child, that's not your child, that you live with them, we have to naturalize this.
I'm confused on the question. I don't get it.
No, he mean to change the word. Hold on, let me see.
I was about to say, I'm confused.
Love, not live. Okay.
Normalize.
Okay. Even tell
I'm
another man
confused.
that's not your child, that you love him.
We have to normalize that.
Normalize it with me. Okay. And you're right.
Like expressing to your spouse you love
You're
them.
right. You're right. You're right.
Expressing to your
You talking
best friend. Hey
I
man, I
tell my
love
friends
you.
I love them all the time.
Oh,
Them
we
my
do.
dogs.
But they don't.
I love you.
No, you know what? And I'm gonna tell you what's going on now. I'm on that man alert. I can tell you this. This is real talk. That is becoming. That's starting to be normalized now.
Do you
promise.
tell your friends you love them?
I do.
Good.
I do. I got one of my partners, Renee. You're up in Alaska right now. You know, I think I said to him first or something, and he says it too to people, whatever. But we said it one day. I love you. I love you. He said, man, it ain't nothing. I want you to know, G. I like, bro, come on, man. I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
See,
I love you. But you know what's funny? We had that conversation, that exchange. You know what I'm saying? And my little bro Twan, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't get off FaceTime without telling each other we love each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell his mom I love him. You know what I'm saying? That's how, you know, we cool like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let him know. It's one of the things I just said last night. If he calls me, whatever minute he called me, if he called right now, I will answer the phone. Even with my show going on. Because one, I love him and I don't want nothing to happen to him. I want to make sure
Life
he's
is way
good.
too short the way
You feel what I'm
life
saying?
is going right
and so
now.
we're gonna always say we love each other before we get off the phone. Even if it's crazy. It could hang up or something, the joke will call back. He's like, hey, I said, I know, man, I love you. You know what I'm saying? And so Marcus, you are right. You know, and we have to normalize that. You know, and some of it comes with security though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, some stigma that men can't say you love each other or something like that.
Again, it's the
listen.
background.
No, I don't even think it's that. I only think it's that though. For real, you think so? I don't even think it's that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think now.
I think it is. I think it's
I
the
think
stigma
men.
of things
I
growing
think
up.
men nowadays they're more secure themselves than ever now. I think a lot of them are more secure themselves than ever.
I would beg to
The
differ.
men. No, I'm saying, well, maybe the people I'm around. And it's all about access too. It's about your circle and who you deal with. Because you know who you're gonna deal with, who you're not gonna deal with. So you wind up calculating based off the people you deal with, right? Okay, your crew consists of how many people? How many girls? Your crew. I ain't talking about people you know, but your crew consists of how many people?
6, 7.
Okay, 6, 7. Now out of them 6, 7, could you say they tight?
They're all what?
They good with you.
Yeah.
Them your girls,
Mhm.
right? So it's the same thing. So with me saying the comment that I'm saying, like, hey, I can say this right here. That's what it's coming. I'm speaking from that. I can't speak from society now.
You can only speak from your circle.
I can speak from my circle. That's all I can speak from.
Mhm.
Or the people that I deal with. Because once again, we choose who has access to us.
Facts.
You choose who. It's 6 or 7 of y'all. You choose who has access to all of y'all.
Facts.
And then you just see everybody else. And then you kind of like, nah, you know how y'all do. Yeah, we all went out, but girl, that one you brought with her, I don't do her. Y'all know y'all will do it in a minute. I don't do that right there. Y'all say that, right? Don't y'all?
Pardon?
No, I'm just saying. You just kind
Girl,
of
whenever you be mixing your crew of friends with other friends.
Oh, yeah, but I know her.
So,
everybody's not mixed.
Right.
Yeah,
so everybody's not gonna meet everybody, probably. Right. So now, because some of your friends got some problems, they need to probably go talk to Leah.
Come holler at your girl.
You know what I'm saying?
We can talk about those issues of underlying jealousy, or why can't you just
Ooh,
coexist?
see,
with
that's an
others?
issue too now. That's some baggage.
Mm-hmm.
That's some childhood drama or trauma. You right?
And that's why you need to come unpack it with me.
Okay, let me ask y'all 3 professionals. How do you deal with your friends? Did them take Leah? Don't come in here with all that mess. Because you're a counselor. And you sitting there, a couple of your girls
Well,
get into a
they
little
asked
spat.
me, like, do you want me like Leah the therapist or but I'm also like, come on, guys, let's just have fun. No worries. Like, chill. Life's too short. Take a shot. Get over it.
Well, we know you're gonna say party. That's her. Party pineapple juice. That's
It's really just like
everything.
life is too short. No, like not even that. Like,
Right.
let's communicate our feelings, but also too, like, if it's something minor, like, oh, she's getting on my nerves, like, move past it. Or if it's something that she really did, don't fool with her no more. Like, we can coexist and still not be cool.
Right. Okay. That's cool. But we still gotta get through this dynamic of the stigma of counseling. There's a stigma there.
Very true.
The stigma has been around for years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sure, there may be a few people that break that stigma, but from a holistic standpoint, you have a son, right? You have any kids? Okay, we got a niece, nephew. You got a nephew? No niece. Nephews? Huh? He's a nephew. He's a boy, girl. Okay, all right. So, like, how do you instill that in the man? I'm saying, is he gonna tell other men he love them? Is he gonna be secure enough?
I'm really big on communication with him, so that's something that we do advocate for, and I think it is starting within the home that breaks those generational curses. Like, before you go to sleep, I love you. Like, I'm an affectionate person, so like, it's inevitable that he's gonna hear that. So like, even like with him, he communicates his feelings like very well. Even if it's like, I'm frustrated, like this is annoying. I really like this. Thank you for this. I dislike this. Like, he's a very vocal child.
So does he do it to
me?
Does he do it to a man as well, or just you?
I think it's also he's expressive with my father. He's expressive with his father.
Okay.
His friends at school, like, this is my good friend, or like these are my top 3 friends. Like, it's a little like not right. But the people who he cut for, like, that he's been to school with and like his best friends, like, he's very vocal to the point where like teachers know, like, oh, well, like Zara and Jay or Zara and Ashton, they're so close. Like, he's very verbal about like that situation.
Okay. I'm still trying to get past this stigma thing. Because I want to.
I think it goes back to like what Feast says. Like, even like the 6th graders, like, oh, me telling my homeboy I like him, or if I'm hugging my homeboy, oh, that's gay. Like, it does start like that. Like, is my son going around hugging his friends and stuff? No, but like we like each other. But like, even small things. My son sometimes will sleep in my room. Okay. If I asked him, well, when you're at your dad's house, do you sleep in the bed over there? No, he's a boy. Like, why would I sleep in a bed with a boy? Like, it just goes to like that. Like, he gives his dad like a hug and a kiss every now and then, but like, it's not like me. I'm like, oh my God, give me lots of kisses. Like, is he gonna do that with his dad? Like, not so much. It's like love you, man. Like, me, I'm like, oh my God, let's play Kissy Monster. Like, you know, like it's very different. Like,
and it is, you know what I'm saying? I have my son, Brian II. You know, my thing is I play with him. I'm like, come here, boy, give him a kiss. You know what I'm saying? He be like, boy, go on, dad, you know, or whatever. I always just do that to him.
Smart, but I bet you his mom was like, give me a kiss. It's not like a
right. He'll just stand there and take it. You know what I'm saying? But as far as with me, you know, he's like, but I'm doing it just to play with him or whatever. But when I do give him, I give him that love. Like, come here, boy. Oh, you know, come here, boy. You know, so just so he understand, I always did it since he was a little boy. Mm-hmm. You know, but I think it's just one of those things that men, we do give our sons to make sure that one, we know the world they have to go out there. That we know. You know what I'm saying? It's a rough world for them. Period. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be judged in a bunch of different ways, by society in itself. But we know we ourselves as males, we can be very hard on another male. Mm-hmm. Very hard on another male. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so that's just kind of rough, and it's just a path they have to go through, unfortunately. Them 6th graders, that's what we start with.
Right. I feel like
that's when they about to be bad.
They are. But like when you go home, you know, and you talking to your child, if you're a man to a boy, you know, and stop saying how was school today and then they say fine. Like, nah, like have conversations, because the more they're open to talk with you on just surface levels, it might help them reach deeper. Because once you ask somebody how their day was or what did you do today, they're gonna hit a point where you're gonna see their emotions change. Right. Like maybe something happened at lunch. Then you come in and say, well, what happened? Tell me. Like that doesn't mean I have to be like, oh, what happened? Having conversation and talking to them. And for me, what I learned, kids know way more than we think they do.
True.
So for me, what helps me help them be open is I am transparent with them. Okay. How I'm talking to you right now is how I talk to them.
Right.
I don't baby them. I don't cater to them in that manner. We rationalize things like adults, I guess you would say. So when you put them on that level, they're more open to talk to you, because why would I want to talk to you about my problems if you think I'm a baby? Like if you're always babying me, you know, like what's wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to want to come to you with their problems, which are actually like higher level problems than we know. Kids in 6th grade are dealing with sexuality. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I didn't think that because I'm thinking they're 6th graders, but when you're in the trenches, you see that they know a lot that adults know. They know about depression. They know they mama and daddy beefing in the house, even though they don't say they beefing. They know, they hear those conversations, and we think that they're not listening, or we think they too young to understand. But from my experience, they know a lot. So I feel like as a man to boy, it starts with communication, just opening that up to them. And you don't have to be softer. You don't have to be vulnerable yourself. But once they tell you what they're going through, you're going to be able to relate to it as a parent, because we didn't all went through what they didn't went through. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh, for real? It's a lesson learned. Y'all didn't talked about it. Mm-hmm. And now that opens him up to come talk to you again. So it doesn't have to be sit on a couch kind of thing. Just when you ask them how their day was, no, come here, let's talk. Okay. Like, don't just let them say it was fine.
Right.
Like, really hear them out. It might not have to be every day, but that's why I think dinner was so important for families back in the day, because we sat at
shout
the
out
table.
That damn dinner now.
Yeah, shout out to Torchies.
You know what I'm saying? No, for real. No, for real. That was a great. That was a great moment, because that's when families really could connect and have those conversations.
And that's why I feel like, you know, for me, when I become a parent, put the phone down. Like we got 30 minutes we can be without our phone today. Right. Let's really but who has time? Because mama might be working and she told you to fix something for you and your little brother, and you don't have nobody to talk to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why parents need to be more involved. And I know I'm not a parent, but what I see how it affects a child from their parents not being there, it plays a part, even if they're like not misbehaving so much that I gotta call you. It shows in their personalities, but parents don't think about it, because the kid just say, I'm doing fine.
Right. Oh, ooh, girl, that's what 2 of them things do.
She started dropping them gems.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I
Start
need
dropping them
keep you
teacher
with a whole
gems.
1900s instead of 18 of them. You know what I'm saying? And that's good.
That's it. That's my.
You seem like you got a passion with them kids too. When it comes toward you, it's like a passion.
Yeah, she actually has a nonprofit organization.
Do you?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that nonprofit real quick. Not real quick, but talk to me about it. It is about everybody in here, about the kids.
Well, my organization is WAY, and it stands for Why Are You Here? And it's just a conversation started to, and also a reminder to you to think about, okay, what is my purpose? I'm getting caught up in all of this right here, but why am I really here? And I think that it helps you align back with what you need to focus on, your goals. And once you're focused on your goals and aligned, you're not distracted by baby mama drama if you have it, or you're not distracted by your job stress, or you're not distracted by those barriers, so to speak, because you are on a mission. And so we want to help the youth start finding their way, help them start thinking about, what do I even want to do? What am I good at? And how do I want to help the world, so to speak? And helping the world can mean helping your community, helping a certain target audience. Like for me, I want to help kids. Like, what are you good at and what you want to do? So our organization is here to pave the way for the students to start thinking about their purpose instead of just thinking, oh, I got to go to college. Like, yeah, college might be for some people, but college is not for everyone. So what else is available for you? Do you even know other jobs that are out there versus like the traditional jobs that are out there?
Right.
And so I think people, that's why they're so unhappy as adults now, because they haven't found their passion. They haven't found their purpose. And they just went into a traditional role or a traditional job. And I just feel like, the whole quote of, if you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. And a lot of our stress comes from work. So why not set these students up to avoid what we're dealing with? If you're thinking about your purpose at 18, you might not find your purpose at 18, but if you're starting to think about your purpose at 18, imagine where you'll be like at 33, like me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we just trying to take students further with a mission of learning who they are and why you have been placed here.
Shout out to that damn nonprofit you got going on, girl, and all that all that passion you got over there. Girl, shit, your passion game stats just went up over here. You know what I'm saying? Girl,
yeah, I try.
Damn passion stats out here. Hold on, we got Marcus want me to hit him up. Let me hit Marcus up real quick, because Marcus, we're gonna talk about a few things. Marcus, is this interesting? Monique, for your first week.
We're getting ready to see lots of different perspectives. So what are you going to be doing here, Monique?
So I got to get on the mic.
Give her the mic so she can see what's going on. That's right. We're getting you on the mic.
Trying to avoid this mic again. Right now, I am doing EAP counseling.
Get a little more on that thing.
Doing EAP counseling while it's okay. Bartender, get it together.
I know she was a bartender too. That's what she said.
But yeah, I have a couple of businesses that I'm waiting and kind of, putting in the works. So once those are, fully fleshed out, I will be, announcing that, because I'm sure I'm going to get put on the spot to talk about it.
EAPers are where they at, especially a lot of us people, our minority people, don't understand that EAP equals free counseling.
Amen. Those
and they also give like free legal assistance, help with like figuring out your finances. I feel like a lot of people underestimate. For those of you who don't know, EAP stands for Employee Assistance Program, and many employers have it. Just ask anybody in your human resources department.
Especially those of you who are in corporate America, you severely underutilize your benefits.
Exactly. Like you said, 6 free sessions, and a lot of the time it's like per year, per problem. So like I could be depressed, family stress, divorce, and what is that? 18 free sessions.
And then we have the folks who are on your end who don't recognize the value of being linked with the EAP program.
Oh, girl, I'm with all the EAPs here.
Yes,
all of them in Houston. All of them.
Because I think we'll have to talk. I may have to get you on my folks out of Canada, but they're all over the US.
Definitely. I'm always down.
Yes.
I'm always down to spread the word about mental health. Always down. Health is wealth.
I'm down too.
And mental health.
I'm down with the mental health. I'm in the mental health streaks. I don't know what this damn phone do.
I love this painting right here. I would just like for everybody to take a moment to acknowledge all the comedic greats in that picture. Like I'm gonna have to take a picture and I need it duplicated.
You know what? I'll get you one.
Like there's so much greatness in that one picture, and the fact that it's in the barbershop makes it so much more classic.
And in deep.
In love with it.
That's deep.
But anyways, oh yes, girl. Pass.
No.
Robin Williams. I mean Robin. No,
not Givens.
I know. I'm the woman, the great thing with the I know.
Listen, we know what the counselors be doing in their pastime. I'm telling you. If y'all ever heard about these counselors, I'm gonna tell you about all the counselors now. Listen.
Counselors night out.
Listen.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Hello. In moderations and self-care. And we have a designated driver.
That's right.
Hey.
And this is so everybody understand. This is the reason why part of the experience is being picked up and taken home. Because one, I want people to be relaxed. And what it does, it mimics going out a night on the town. You know what I'm saying? That's what this mimics. And so you want people to be relaxed and give some good information. And I think that's what's going on right now, especially with this topic.
Lee, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I think there's something going on with YouTube right now.
So how have you seen the need for mental health increase since COVID?
Oh my God, I feel like it's taken off. People getting stuck in the house, not having to deal with their own problems, their own emotions. Like it has skyrocketed. Couples having issues, like business is thriving right now when it comes to in regards to mental health. Even if people like haven't like directly had an issue, for the fact of like, hey, I'm in the house and there's a lot of things that I know that I've been needing to deal with. Now I have the time or the resources to be able to do it. Oh, stop talking.
Pause y'all for 1 second.
Okay.
Hey, we got Marcus on the line.
Yeah.
What's going on, Marcus? How you doing, man?
Nothing much. Just studying a little bit and listening to the conversation.
Okay, man. Yeah. So I want to give you a call and just kind of you had some nice comments in there. I wanted to see if you wanted to kind of elaborate on them so we can get your full thought on them, if it was possible.
Well, I agree with almost everything everybody's saying. So as men, we have this machismo about it, and I agree with you and your buddy when you were talking about the country boys. I mean, y'all built a little different. I'll give it up for most part. Y'all built a little different. So, you raised differently than, city boys, as we used to say.
Right.
But we gotta, so I look at me and how I was raised, single parent household, and I think I heard you say that.
Yes, sir.
And it was just my mom. Guys came and went, not to say she was loose or anything like that, but, she'd have a boyfriend here and there. But for me, it was no dominant male figure, like in the house with me. So when I had my boys, it was like, okay, I'm going to teach them that, you can be vulnerable to an extent, but it's kind of like what Leah said. At some point, we got to focus on, well, what we're going to do about this, because as men, we should be solution-based driven. And, I try to make sure that I'm focusing on that all the time. Like, well, okay, I feel down today, but how am I going to get out of it? What am I going to do to change this?
I would.
No, I see you. I see that. What's that?
I just feel like people don't allow themselves to have mental issues. It's almost like that mean I gotta be in a straitjacket. Something wrong with all of us. Again, going back to saying everybody needs counseling, and it doesn't mean something wrong with you. Let me backtrack. It means you have a problem, and like they say, most of the time you're trying to solve the problem. So I think once we start admitting to ourselves, okay, it's a problem. Because we be so busy and caught up in our day-to-day. Again, we don't recognize when we need that help. We don't recognize it's stress until our back hurt, our neck hurting, or, it's like you breaking out, or, you know what I'm saying? Not your body starting to slow down because you didn't sit there and allow yourself to feel. Like, we don't allow ourselves to cry. We don't allow ourselves to get sad. We don't allow ourselves to get angry, because if we get angry, all of a sudden everybody's like we look like the enemy. you can be angry. Like, you can be angry, you can be sad, just like you can be happy. In like, dwell in those emotions and deal with them, and then come back and say, okay, now what I'm gonna do about it. Because a lot of times people be so solution focused that they don't actually deal with it. Like, you know, I don't know. Y'all get what I'm
like
saying?
Process through the emotions.
Yeah,
Kind of like you put a Band-Aid on it sometimes versus like digging into why do I feel this way? What's causing these emotions? What's triggering me to kind of have these feelings? Is it from like childhood trauma or different experiences that I've had or different interactions with people and how it's impacted my reaction to people? Like, am I more defensive? Am I more guarded based on those past experiences?
So, Marco, let me ask you this, Ray. You say you have a son?
Yeah, I have two.
You have two? Okay. What are the age? You don't mind me asking?
21 and 19.
21, 19. Okay. So as they came up, how was the practice as far as I can understand based off what you're saying, how you probably dealt with your sons in the house, in the home. How did they communicate to their male friends? Do they tell them they love them? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. So it's funny, I have my boys are polar opposites of each other. So one's real expressive and the other one isn't.
Okay.
So I can tell you the interactions I see with the oldest one. He's kind of like Leah was saying about her son. Like he points out who his friends are and who his associates are and why these are his friends and why those are his associates. And, he cut for his friends. And my youngest, he's he's an introvert. So it's like, yeah, I know him. And you got to pull it out of him. Like, okay, well, this how I know him. And we talk this, this amount of times or whatever. But for me, it was always, getting them to talk. Like, just whatever it is, just getting them to talk. If they're quiet about something, getting them to talk, because men typically don't talk.
True.
We soak in our emotions, and we, either we come up. It might not be the right solution, but this is our damage. This is our solution.
Right.
And that ain't always. Well, that ain't most of the time. That's not the right way to do it. Mm-hmm. So we got to break that stigma that we can't talk to somebody. And then going back further, y'all talked about the lying.
Right.
One of the things about the lying, this is nature we're talking about for one. Mm-hmm. But I agree that lead lion cannot show any vulnerability to the pack. And here's the other reason why. Because there's always a male lion ready to take his mantle. I mean, that's a true statement there. And, sometimes you have those friends that may have that jealousy that end up throwing whatever your vulnerability back in your face. So, it's kind of that traditionally why we don't express ourselves to other men or to other people, because we don't want it thrown back in our face.
It kind of circles back to what you said about that shame thing.
Oh, yeah, I agree. We have to
if it's thrown back in your face, or if somebody's going to keep rehashing it or like throw it down like during the time when you're vulnerable, like it can definitely like make me double back and not it definitely would make me want to double back and like be more hesitant the next time when it comes to expressing myself if I've had something like thrown back up in my face.
Mm-hmm. And you gotta like I'm sorry, go ahead, Marcus.
No, I was just gonna say, and then some people don't mean it like I'm gonna use this against them when I can. We're all human. And sometimes people get into these little, disagreements, and that person throws it back up at you. Not that they, was calculating doing it the day they found out about it, but, so that's why I'm an advocate. You need to talk to somebody who's going to be unbiased, who doesn't really have, any money in the game. Mm-hmm. They're just going to give you or allow you the safest way to work that out.
Right.
And I think like that is why Leah is here. Like that's why we have counselors and therapists, because you don't want your sometimes your homeboy's not going to understand anyway, because they didn't go to counseling, like to school for that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we can vent to our friends, but those deep vulnerabilities, your childhood trauma and all that you're dealing with, the stuff that's weighing on you, that's why we do need to seek therapists for those times. Like, I know friends that say, okay, I'm having a bad day today, let me hit my therapist up, see if I can have a session with them. Because you can't tell Troy or whatever what you dealing with today, because Troy just might not understand. But your counselors, they might not understand what you're going through. But again, like Leah said, she's not there to tell you how to live your life. She's there to hear what you have going on and hear where you want to be and guide you there, so that you don't have to weigh in on your spouse. You don't have to weigh in on your friends and your family, because again, most of them don't have that counseling background to even help you out. They haven't even helped themselves out. You know what I'm saying? So I just think you can silently call a therapist and schedule a therapist, and nobody even know you go to the therapist.
Confidential. That's one
nobody
thing that
will know that you spent that 1 hour with her a day. Just like you go to the gym, just like you spend an hour on watching a show, you could have just ran it with her on the phone. Now it's on the web, like, and nobody would know. And I think you could be healing like on the cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to put that pressure on your friends, because honestly, I'm a person that I love to, like, I'm an empath, so I take on a lot of my friends' emotions, and it'd be hard for me to like really handle them, because now I'm in their business, now I'm feeling their emotions, and it'd be too overwhelming for me.
Right.
So I had to set a boundary for myself and say, you know, recommend a therapist versus trying to tell me, because I might can't help you. You know, I'm gonna say God, but I'm your friend probably can't handle that, and that's okay. Right. It don't mean he a bad friend. It's just certain professionals are there to help with certain things.
You know, you wouldn't consult them if you had like a heart problem. So I consult them with your mental health issues. I was just thinking of that, Leah. Like,
so Marcus, let me ask you this right here. Do you see a change in the dynamics as far as the way men, just within your circles and stuff like that, in their view toward seeking counseling?
Not yes and no. You know, I can say that I know of one friend that sought out counseling. I have some friends that are, you know, I'm a little older, so I have some friends that are, you know, old souls, as we say, and they're just stuck in their ways.
Right.
I will say though that I've seen a change in, you know, the millennial age group.
Right.
You know, seeking counseling, being vulnerable, and not being afraid to just share their feelings.
I definitely see that.
And still know that, hey, I'm masculine and I'm a man. You know, I have seen a change in that. But for my age group, as far as counseling goes, I will tell you a couple of us are open to it.
Right.
I know one real close friend that has went to counseling. I've went to counseling personally. But for the most part, no.
Yeah.
What do you think are some reservations with older males in seeking out counseling?
I think the first one is stuck in their ways. I mean, you know, the older you get, the harder it is to change. That's a long going theory, and I believe it's harder, but it's not impossible. That's one, and then just one of them is y'all touched on it. You know, not knowing that it's available. You know, we all know what our deductibles are for if I have to go to the emergency room, but a lot of us don't know we have 6 or 7 free counseling sessions available for us in our insurance. They don't know that. We don't know the limit of, you know, the mental health part of our insurance. So I think some of it is naive, you know, being ignorant to the facts, and then a lot of it is just stuck in their ways and not thinking they need it. I mean, the gentleman before, you know, he kind of double talked. He said, "I need it, or I see how I would need it, but I don't see that I need it." So, you know, you were laying it out, but his last statement was, "I don't see that I need it." So, I mean, I just think that's some of it. And, you know, men are harder to change than women. That's a fact, too. So, or my opinion, I'll say it that way.
I would agree. The men are harder.
I would agree too. I'm glad we all on the same page.
No, that's just a given, and I think, and maybe because we do think differently.
But then I think it goes back again to vulnerability. Change includes you being vulnerable and it realizing that I'm not doing something right, or there needs to be something different in the way that I'm doing things. So again, I think it's the same level of vulnerability.
Right. Mm-hmm. So Marcus, how easy are you to give up your vulnerability?
Say that again. I didn't understand.
I said, how easy is it for you to give up your vulnerability to your mate?
Oh, it's still not easy. It's still not easy. I'm supposed to be the one with the backbone to be able to carry everything.
Right.
And typically, and I'll be honest with you, my release of the vulnerability usually doesn't happen in the most productive manner.
Okay. Right.
It's usually through a disagreement or when I'm at my very end.
Okay.
I try to teach people, don't wait till the end to tell somebody something. Don't wait till you are at your limit to tell somebody, hey man, or hey babe, this is bothering me. Because it usually doesn't come out in the best productive manner.
True.
So, and I'm the same way, that's a constant fight with me.
And so, Doc, so why is that a fight with us?
That you don't want to be vulnerable?
Well, I think I think we touched a bunch of the topics,
Right.
You don't want to throw them back in your face.
True.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to use it against you.
Right.
Fear of using it against you.
All of this giving away to somebody else out of anger.
Or being a label.
I'll give you another.
We have so many labels.
That is true.
We already have to struggle because we're black, or we already got struggle because we are a man or black man. Then it's a black woman. Then it's like, then on top of that, I got to deal with saying that I have anxiety, and you looking at me, or bipolar. Now you looking at me this kind of way. It's like, as black people, we already have to deal with people already judging us before even getting to know us. So why would I want to add that extra label? We already deal with loving ourselves. So and this is not like having a disorder or just having mental health, we have seen as being crazy, or like we have a lot of negative stigmas with it. So nobody wants to admit to that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to, but it's kind of like, as soon as you admit to having it, then you now are more conscious of addressing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I found out I had anxiety, now I knew what I had to do to make it better. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, I didn't think I had it, but then it was just like, okay, something's not right. I'm not trying to deal with it on my own. It's not helping. So now let me research the symptoms I'm having. You know what I'm saying? And then once I said, okay, now I have anxiety, that doesn't mean I'm an anxious person. It means I have anxiety, and it doesn't make me, I could be a person with bipolar. I'm not bipolar. Like, I'm a person with bipolar.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like, if I had a hearing problem, I do something to fix the hearing problem. But the hearing problem is not who I am. I'm a person with a hearing problem. So I think once you start understanding and separating that mental health, if you have a diagnosis, once you start separating that instead of thinking that's who you're going to be, I think people are going to be more accepting to the different disorders. Because you might have a disorder that could be addressed with medicine, or could be addressed, with other different types of therapies. That, how would you know about it if you don't understand who you are? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think getting to know yourself, and the pandemic has helped a lot of people with that. You had to figure yourself out. You start having these emotions you never had before. Like, now you're learning yourself. And I think because people got to know themselves, now they're more open to the therapy. We didn't have time to get to know ourselves because we were so busy with all kind of other stuff.
And then you got forced to sit down and deal with your own stuff.
Right. For me, I found out I had anxiety during the pandemic. The pandemic didn't bring the anxiety. It might have like contribute, but like really understanding that I was like, I've been like this and I could have been addressed this. You know what I'm saying? But I just really feel like getting to know yourself and accepting the good and the bad. Like the bad is what actually makes you, like on the cool, if you really think about it, like the stuff that you go through, the failures you have build you to be a better person because you learn from them, or you should have
turns into your testimony.
Yeah. So I feel like, but everybody so much doesn't want to go through a bad situation. We do everything we can to avoid a bad situation, but you can't. It's inevitable. Like things are going to happen. So once you say, okay, this happened to me, now I need to figure out, like y'all say, I'm a problem solution focused person too. I'm that person, but I also cry and deal with my emotions too. But I'm a female maybe, or that's just me. I can't even say because I'm a female. So I just think once people start really getting a hang of accepting flaws of themselves, then we can start making change.
And I think it's just getting to that point. You know what I'm saying? That to accept that
something's wrong, because sometimes people get so stuck and that's just me, that's just the way I act. I think it's even just acknowledging like this isn't okay.
Right.
Like I need to do something different. Like, oh, you got a bad attitude. Oh, I done had a bad attitude. Okay, that doesn't mean it's been okay this long. Like do something different. It still stink. Like fix your attitude.
And Marcus, you were saying there was one other thing. What was that other thing?
Oh, I forgot now. I'll be honest with you.
I was trying to hold on to you. Your sister soldier got to go on. I had to let her go. You know what I'm saying?
I just started drinking and sipping too now.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, the sip game is strong up in there. These professionals in here are professional. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. That's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. Hey man, I appreciate you. You talking to us. For real. Did you have anything else? I don't mean to cut you off like that. Did you have anything else?
No, I'm good. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Great show, though.
Hey, I appreciate you for listening. And I know this ain't the sexy show that people say. You know what I'm saying? The shows that.
No, I'm looking at the views, and it's very sexy up there. don't start changing.
She worried about angles and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Listen. You shouldn't have said it every time you play that. Hey, listen, we got hey, you can't see on the other side of the table now. We got two on the other side of the table too now. I got it for you though.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Wink and drink what? A wink and drink what? A wink and drink what? Hit 'em. It's 5 o'clock. It's time to leave. I dig into my pockets, pull out my car keys. Grab my wallet, walk out the front door. Unlock my phone, open the app store. I need a place to meet and think. Found a brand new app called Wink and Drink. Yeah. It's Wink and Drink. Hey. It's Wink and Drink.
Come on.
Yeah. It's Wink and Drink. A brand new app where people meet. Come on. It's Wink and Drink. Hey. It's Wink and Drink. It's Wink and Drink. A brand new app where people meet. Shout out to that damn jingle right there. Listen, that damn jingle is the hottest thing out here in 2021. You hear me?
I might be singing it when I leave. You might be correct.
You gonna sing it? You know what I'm saying? I had to throw my smooth lyrics on that thing to make it smooth like that. You know what I'm saying?
You're on that thing?
That's me. What are you talking about?
The whole song is you?
That's me.
Okay.
Hold on. Now you gotta hear the damn again because you gotta know who on the damn hit. That's me and my godson right there. Wink and drink what? A wink and drink what? A wink and drink what? Hit 'em, G. It's 5 o'clock. It's time to leave. I dig into my pockets, pull out my car keys. Grab my wallet, walk out the front door. Unlock my phone, open the app store. I need a place to meet and think. Found a brand new app called Wink and Drink. Yeah. It's Wink and Drink. Hey. It's Wink and Drink. Come on. It's Wink and Drink. A brand new app where people meet. Come on. It's Wink and Drink. Hey. It's Wink and Drink. It's Wink and Drink. A brand new app where people meet. You ain't gonna tell me that ain't the damn number one hit 2021. Right there. That shit
You need
is
to get some
popping.
radio play for that.
It's already on. See, you just got on the show. You don't know what's going on right now.
Oh.
That damn Wink and Drink is serious right there. It's so
lit.
serious. It's all over the U.S. right now. That thing's so hot. It's hot. That's what I want to tell you.
I can hear it.
It's hot. I know you can hear it now. You gonna listen. I'm gonna make sure you hear it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna send it to you on the way out tonight. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be winking and drinking on the way out. Look what Tony said.
Leah done relaxed finally, shoulders relaxing. Okay. The LSU accent is from Feast. I do not have an LSU accent, but I have relaxed a little bit.
A little bit. She don't relax.
I low key, I wish I did have me a little Noya accent. Like, I got this little raspy voice working. Like, I really wish I had me a little, hey, baby.
Hey, baby. Look at her.
It's not meant for me to have a Noya accent.
Hey. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana.
I forgot.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot it's a difference.
Trust is from.
It's a very big difference.
Trust is from Lafayette. You know what I'm saying? That's you from. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw she had that 337 area code.
All day.
When I saw that, I was like, all right, the Wink and Drink.
Trust doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? You already on the Wink? You on the app?
The Wink and Drink?
Yeah. Come on now.
I downloaded it.
No, see, you gotta.
I gotta get active on it.
Come on, you gotta at least throw in your drink on there or something.
Put my tequila on there,
yeah,
so they can know that I'm
make sure you slide that
drinking.
thing now. Don't be doing the 17-year-old guys. Now 18, don't do them. You got to adjust that.
I like my men like 35,
you know
40 plus.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't do them young fellas.
Them young fellas.
And I like the popses.
Ooh, goddamn! Shout out
somebody's sons.
Shout out.
I mean, somebody's daddies. Somebody's daddies.
Shout out to them damn daddies out there.
Yeah, shout out to the daddies.
Them damn available daddies. Shout out to them. Let me see who up here trying to win. Cause I'll tell you right now, my wink game's so strong. I hate cutting nap on. See what happens soon like opening up.
Because what are you gonna put on there? You don't drink. Do you
look at that?
Did you put on there strong pineapple juice or pineapple on the rocks? I don't think that's on the Wink and Drink app.
I put a strong 1186 water.
It's black on, so maybe Wink and Drink might recognize that because they're black on.
You know what I'm saying? They know. They already know. Vanessa, there he is right there. There go my dog right there.
Who is that?
Renee Garza. This the dude I tell him I love him all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Does he say it back?
What? Man, please. I could watch this. I'm gonna show you. Now he can tell you about relationships and counseling and say, you know what, he's a good person to talk about that because he's definitely a good person to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you
about mental health.
Yeah, just about counseling and the importance of it and everything. I don't even play.
For the record, I love you.
Hey, what's up, you big sexy
Come
bear?
On, not
you
just the answering.
With your sexy self. What's going on? See, this is how we do it right here. She big sexy bear. You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Renee.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. How you guys doing?
Okay, we're doing good, man. What's going on with you up there in Alaska? There in Alaska.
Yes, and to answer your question, yes, I say it back. When Brian and I are talking and we in the conversation, it's I love you, brother.
All day. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all should. Oh, he just put it on the messages.
Hey, see that? Because we keep it real. We keep it real.
As you should, because life is too short. Like, life is way too short to not tell your loved ones how you feel.
Hey, I know it's early out there in Alaska, man. So I don't know if you got a chance to catch the show.
What time is it in Alaska?
What time is it over there? I know you're like 3 hours. 3 hours. Yeah, ain't you 3 hours out there?
Okay.
Hey, did you get a chance to catch any of the show?
I just now got signal. I just now logged in.
Okay. Yeah, he's out there in hey, what part of Alaska is that?
Soldotna, south of Anchorage.
Yeah, just south of Anchorage. Okay. Hey, so the lovely ladies I have here today, Leah, she's a therapist. Okay. And so we're talking about counseling and the stigma that's placed upon it and why men probably they're not big on doing it. And what do you think about that?
What are some of the reasons?
I think everybody should go.
Right.
Amen.
The healthy thing. I mean, even even in a healthy relationship, a partnership, whether it's business related, husband and wife, I totally agree with going to counseling. That's how you better your business.
What are some benefits that you've gotten from counseling, or some things that you've liked about the counseling process?
I just having a third party, a neutral person, being able to bring things up that you normally wouldn't want to say to your significant other, and I say partner. What I mean by partner is a business partner. You know, business partners should go to counseling as well, not just a marriage.
Because all those parties have communication, so it makes sense.
So let me ask you this, Renee.
Absolutely.
What do you think of some of the stigmas? I mean, I know how you feel about it, but just you being in the industry that you're in, you know, some of the thoughts you probably have encountered with just men, and seeking something such as counseling.
Yeah. I mean, you talk to any guy. Oh, I don't go to counseling. I mean, that's not for me. That's for girls or somebody else, but not me. And a lot of people are closed-minded by it because, and I don't know if that has to do with, 15, 20 years ago, the way things were, but that's not how they are now. But a lot of people are closed-minded to it still, aren't mature enough it has nothing to do with that. I mean, everybody needs to open up and vent or have somebody to talk to. And, but yeah, no, the industry, especially, trucking industry. I mean, people don't want to open up. Not the only time they open up is on a CB radio because nobody knows who they are.
Because I'm about to say, y'all are pretty isolated in trucking.
Say that again?
Y'all are pretty isolated in the trucking world.
Oh, I know. We are.
So I'm sure
and it's gotten
that has
worse.
to be difficult within itself.
Oh, I know, and it's gotten worse. It's a lot of people don't use CB radios anymore. Everybody's too busy on their headsets and talking to everybody else instead of paying attention to the road or what they're supposed to be doing. But no, it's unless you're old school, and I'm old school, so I still use a CB, but I still communicate. And the only reason why I'm open-minded to the therapist. I mean, I don't know what Brian's told you, but I mean, I've suffered losses in my life, with my kids and stuff. And so, there are times that, not even my pastor was able to get through to me at church, and I needed to seek help somewhere else to get the closure and understanding and, things like that. And so, and it requires going to a therapist.
Definitely.
Or a shaman.
Oh, a shaman.
Hey.
I've done all that. So I went all the way to Peru and lived there for 2 months to talk to a shaman to get acceptance and closure. And
that shaman
because of that,
life is different.
Yeah, well, it's a different type of spiritual healing than just sitting down and
requires discipline.
So yeah. Oh yeah. So it broadened my horizon, made me open up and see the world differently, and treat people differently, and try to be kinder.
Understandable.
And that's why I still, and Brian and I mean, the way we met, and I mean, ever since then, I mean, there's nothing I wouldn't do for that guy. I didn't care where I was at, and the respect that we have for each other, and it's just stuff like that you just don't see anymore. And his comes from the military background, because you don't leave no man behind, And like I said, I'm old school, so I was never in the service, but we have the same beliefs,
all day. You know what I'm saying? When you got two men,
I'm here for the brotherly love.
Yeah, and this was about it, and it's really just being aware of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I think, to me, holistically, once an individual is really secure with themselves, you know what I'm saying, they're not worried about any outside thoughts of anybody. You know what I'm saying? That makes them able to go seek counseling, seek help.
I mean, I can count in one hand,
talk to another man.
In one hand, how many times my dad said he loved me.
Right.
Tragic moments. It wasn't just because, I got married or something great happened. It was always due to tragedy.
Mm.
And that's not how it should be. I mean, you should tell somebody you love them before it's too late.
Yeah.
So I say it all the time. And I have female friends that are like, I can't say it all nilly-willy like you do, and I'm like, you don't have to,
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way I am.
That's it.
So,
because we can compartmentalize. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Mel just do that well.
Yeah, we do, don't we? We got some compartments for you. Woo, all power. Okay, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. I see you getting everything topped off up there and loaded up. You know what I'm saying? And well, I ain't seen you load nothing yet, but I saw you got the container open. So I know you about ready to make that move, make that transition.
Don't rush too hard.
So but I'll be hollering at you. And as always, brother, I love you. I love you, man. And you know what I'm saying? Tell Rebecca, I say what's up.
Yes, sir. Love you. One of the things and that's just a me thing. That's after listening to the 5 love languages, and hearing all that stuff. I always had a problem when I was in a relationship, and if I told my wife, my significant other, that I loved them, and they said, "Oh, I love you too," and they use the word "too," to me it dilutes it. It has no meaning after you say the word "too," only because you're saying it because I said it. If you love somebody, you just say you love them. You don't use the word "too" because you're diluting the word. It has no meaning at that point. But that's just me. A lot of people don't see it that way or feel that way, but I do. And, and again, that has to do with the way I was brought up and the way things, have unfolded in my life. So I don't let people, I don't wait till it's too late and they're going to hear it in the eulogy, oh, he loved him.
Their
and he loved
roses
her.
while they're alive.
Yeah, exactly. Let them know how you feel about them. And I do that all the time with people that are dear to me, like Brian, and there's a select few. We got a circle, but you can count on them. But thanks for calling and reaching out, and I love you, brother. You be careful, and I'll get the rest of the show. And my phone wasn't able to do both things at one time because I'm in a real bad signal area. So I was watching when you called. That's why I wouldn't go through until I was able to hang up on that and then take the call.
Okay, all right, sounds good, man. I appreciate you. Love you, and I'll holler at you.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
Okay. All right.
That's the point.
Love is in the air.
The point is that
I think we dropped a lot of mental health gems.
I think they got dropped. You know what I'm saying? All right, so hey, this is what I do before I close it out. I'm gonna pass the mic. Hey, can you pass the mic to Monique real quick? Because sisters, I know what you're gonna do, sister. So you're gonna get down when I ask you the question. What did you learn tonight?
So I
one, you didn't put that mic up there. That was
one lesson you didn't get from the night.
Right. One lesson I'm still working on. There's room for improvement.
Okay.
One thing that I definitely learned is the varied perspective of men and their desire to have that vulnerability. And just the importance of continuing conversations and how do we make this a safe space for men to be able to say, hey, this is something I'm struggling with. And it even makes me, pay more attention to how I am as a partner. So that's one thing that I will definitely take away is that there is that internal desire in men to do it. And it's just, making sure that you create that space and encourage that space for them.
Okay. Go ahead, Monique, girl. Do your thing.
I like that response. I like that one.
Damn applause for that right there. I like that shit. Don't be coming in with all that educated stuff. That's some of that North Carolina. That's some of that North Carolina State. You ain't learn at the Central. That's some stuff at State right there. Come on, LSU. What you got?
I learned that I have to back up what I say and attend therapy myself. And when I say back up what I say, I mean, I agree that it's something we need to do. And it is one of my goals for 2021 to find a therapist. So that's where I'm at right now. But I also agree. I learned about the male's perspective, and it is going to make me be the example to acknowledge their feelings, and not be a person that shames them, like another person that shames them for that. So again, I'll be encouraging in that manner. And it just helped me step my game up. And it also is a relief that men do want it. You know what I'm saying? I like that. And I think that's sexy on a man to y'all say this earlier, like men be comfortable with themselves. I forgot what it was.
What's that?
Like y'all just say how men just like be comfortable. I don't know. It was a word for it. But anyway, that's basically what I learned. I learned to be more open-minded to men and be the example by myself going to therapy. Because then again, it will start conversations and it'll allow me to share my experience with others and open them up to therapy. But it got to start with me, because I can't tell somebody, or I can't tell my whole family, it's time for us to go to therapy.
Right.
And I ain't even scheduled a therapy session to even show them or tell them. You know, you be like, go watch this movie. And they going to want to know, well, what's it about? Why I should go watch this movie? If you never seen the movie, why are you going to tell me go watch the movie?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even give me your own like perspective on it. So I think this is going to force me, or it has encouraged me to like really continue seeking for therapy.
Okay, I'm going to leave you right here and pause on that shit right there.
Sister Soldier hit
Sister
it.
Soldier did her thing. You know what I'm saying?
I hate you.
hey, I learned a couple of things. One, I like to thank Marcus, you know what I'm saying, just for, sharing, you know what I'm saying, with his sons. Because one, a lot of men, they won't even do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think for him to even share, you know what I'm saying, just the way he treats his sons and the way he treats his sons, it really share their personalities and how they're two different individuals. So I learned that once again that men can share those things, because one, Marcus shows that he has a security amongst himself. You know what I'm saying? And the way that he's raised his sons. So I shout out to him for that right there. And of course, I like the fact of talking about mental and physical health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though this is more of the mental side, but when I tell you, I talk about this a lot to a lot of my friends. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because I do understand the stresses of business. And there are common everyday stresses. There's not a weekend off. You know what I'm saying? If you're a multiple business owner, trust me, there are no weekends off. You know what I'm saying? Your mind never rests. When you wake up, you think about your business. You know what I'm saying? And if it's multiple, you think about all of them. You understand? One is no more important than the other. You know what I'm saying? So you think about that. And so with that, the thing I want to ask you is if you could come back like probably maybe every 3 weeks or something like that.
I'm down.
You know what I'm saying? And honestly,
I'm down. And I already told you next month I'm trying to go hard. It's Mental Health Awareness Month next month.
She did say that when we had the conversation.
I'm definitely down to come back in May.
I definitely want
to
do that, because one, I think once again, it's about the platforms. If the platforms make it important, you know what I'm saying?
Then people will open up the conversation.
Open the conversation, because what happened is the people, if you have a following of people who, okay, you know what they do, and they hear it, you understand? It can do something just like it did, you know what I'm saying, even Don, you know what I'm saying?
Or even just hearing other males talk about their emotions. If that just normalize the feeling for somebody else, even if it's not oh my God, I'm gonna go get counseling, but hearing other males like Tony and who was the
Marcus,
first guy?
Don.
That was the first guy. Don. Yeah. Okay. Just to hear them to normalize some of those feelings and emotions, and not wanting to put too much on their spouse, learning that boundaries. How do I express, like, even open up that conversation? That's so like phenomenal within itself.
It is. And so that's definitely something I got out of it, and I want to continue that. You know what I'm saying? And just like I'll have, doctors on here talking about from the physical aspect of it. My thing is, we have to make a change. These things have not been around. We don't do this. You know what I'm saying? It's not a common thing. It's not a common conversation. So it's just like, hey, if it has to start with me. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna start with me. So,
well, I appreciate you so much for having me.
So what did you learn?
Allowing me to have this conversation. I learned that men would like to express their emotions if given the atmosphere or environment, which was very insightful for me. I've also kind of learned just the whole perspective from males. Like it's good to hear males openly talk about it. Like most of the times when they're in the client's perspective, they're looking at me as the expert. I mean, which I am, but I'm not the expert in being a Black male and expressing my feelings as a Black male. So it was great insight to hear 4 different males kind of express. Not that No Limit Soldier from LSU. Y'all play too much.
Hey, shot No Limit.
Please say something about you.
Tony M on you. You know what I'm saying? Tony M is on you right now. You know what I'm saying? The No Limit Soldier.
Go Tigers.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think it was great to just hear that perspective. And again, it gives me kind of a talking point of things that maybe I need to start verbalizing and advocating more on my page to kind of make it more of a norm.
Right. Because that conversation will be understood by probably a lot of males. If you come at it like that. And make them more receptive. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. The last final thing. The experience.
The experience was great. I enjoyed the experience from the first call, the communication, the having the conversation. Like I've reached out to other people. It's usually like some emails. I like for you, it was like, hey, let's get on the phone. Like, let's talk about this. Let's see how this works. And then it was like, let's do it. I'm ready. Like right now, like from that experience, the hey, I'm gonna pick you up. What would you like to eat? Meeting another great mental health professional, how welcoming you were to me and my friend. Like it's been an overall, and then also the great conversation from the audience and the support and the feedback from the audience. Like I greatly enjoyed it. That's why I'm hoping you're gonna have me back.
Oh no, for real.
So I can order my crab legs this time.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get crab legs this time. Yeah. I'm gonna get crab legs this time. But no, I'm just kidding. But
I want crawfish.
Hey, I think Tony M will take care of the dinner on that night right there.
All right, Tony M, you gonna pull up?
Hey, no, he'll take care of dinner. Tony M be straight. You know what I'm saying?
No, but again,
wink and drink.
But I do definitely ultimately, I thank you, but ultimately like the audience and the guests, like I think that they kept the conversation flowing, the great feedback in the conversation. So I greatly appreciate y'all for keeping everything interactive.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what we do here on Firecast. Now the crew is the crew. I forgot what they call themselves.
You need to have some names.
The 5 tribes or something like that.
You need to have a name for them.
But no, they made the name up. It was
you need to trademark it and brand it.
I gotta remember what it was. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Tony can tell me what it was. Hey,
and then I'm trying to pull up when what's her name? Veronica, the wink and drink lady.
Oh yeah, she'll be on 25th.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up when she here too. Yeah. You know, I'm trying to wink at her.
Well, you know if you
Oh, Tony said he got the crab legs and all.
Come on now.
Tony, my boy.
Yeah, shout out Tony. This is Tony.
Pull up, Tony.
That's Big Tony. You know what I'm saying? Big Tony is what they call him. Big Tony is what they call him. Okay?
Boiled seafood is the way to my heart, Tony. That's how you get a girl.
Hey, he put on the next. He said crabs and crawfish on the next.
That's why I said, come on, Tony. I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
Like that 3 pound with your little potato and corn. Mix it with mayo and ketchup.
Yeah, you went too far. I just like the season, the lemon juice.
I'm sorry. That's
and if it's cooked right, he said crabs and crawfish. If it's cooked right, we shouldn't eat none of that.
Oh, I still love it. Whether it's good or not, I dips, baby.
Hey, No Limit says she love it. You know
Come on, No Limit, y'all cost.
The No Limit Soldier. You know what I'm saying? All right. You know what I'm saying? But so hey. Another what's that? What happened? What did you say, Monique? Oh, okay.
She looks happy. She said she wants some of the crabs and crawfish too.
Hey, she gonna be on the show. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Tony got us.
As soon as she gets settled in, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna slide Monique on up in here.
Yeah.
You know? But this is how it rolls, right? So I just met Monique today. Today. You know what I'm saying? We talked on in the room.
How was her first experience? Maybe you should ask her. How was her experience?
Well, because it wasn't really her experience. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't even come back here until y'all came.
Oh, okay.
That's why she was out there. You know
well, thank you for joining.
So when she has her experience, she'll have it. She'll have the whole experience.
I enjoyed her presence.
But no, she was out in Carolina, and she was in Clubhouse and Wake Up Houston, and she let us know she was coming to Houston and everything. And so I knew she was coming in this week, whatever. And so people talk the talk. So my thing is like,
she walked it.
You coming, say, hey, let's meet up. You know what I'm saying? So I can welcome you here. And I was like, hey, better yet, you know what? Boom. You do this right here. Hey, come up over here. You know what I'm saying? on this, this time right here, and won, and look how it turned out.
Amazing.
It turned out to be a great show. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
You all linked up, you know what I'm saying? Now you know each other as well. So, and this is what it's about. This is a welcome to Houston for her as well. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome. We about to have fun with you.
So this is good. This is good. Y'all all like tequila and pineapple. So we know
do
that.
all like tequila. And we all like crabs and crawfish.
And you all like the Winky Drink app. So
we do like Winky Drink.
You feel it out? Oh, so you winkable now. Okay.
I want to be winkable.
But don't worry, we're gonna make sure you winkable before you get out of here. No limit.
I want to be winkable.
Okay, everybody will be winkable before they get out of here. You know what I'm saying? The wink gonna happen. I'm trying to tell you now. Listen, if you don't want to get winked at, you better not download it, but you better download it. I
want to get a little wink.
You know what I'm saying? The wink could be out there. There's a 5 wink minimum.
I'll work on my wink.
There's a 5 wink minimum out here. You know what I'm saying? 5 wink minimum.
I think I've hit my capacity.
Tony.
You winking for me now.
Tony, be good. There you go. That's my dog right there. Wink and drink. He done put the emojis in there. He got the emoji for wink and drink. Look at that right there.
Okay, that's cute. I like that.
That's the emoji. Go ahead, Tony. See, Tony is
back. On it.
He be having my back, man.
Tony
all
M.
day long. That's what he does.
Tony M.
Hey, we're gonna end it with a wink and drink classic.
Why not?
No, check this out. Hey, tomorrow we got Brandy, right? Brandy, old Pure Chocolate. Y'all know her. Brandy, she's a brand ambassador for 1186.
Come on, Pure Chocolate.
And she's chocolate now, all day chocolate.
I like chocolate.
So she already said we're gonna break the she said we're gonna break the YouTube tomorrow because it's gonna be too much chocolate in there.
Oh, I'm gonna tune in.
Yeah, tune in for that now. So it's gonna be chocolate on the screen tomorrow.
The chocolate explosion.
And so she did it up big. She said she's coming in for a photo shoot. She's coming hard. Cause right now, I think Kenzie has the record on the photo shoot right now. She came in with that yellow and just killed it. So I think Brandy coming in here to get it, take the crown. And then that's at 1:30 though. So we're doing an early show. So 1:30, Brandy will be here.
Early. That's very early.
Yeah. So 1:30 she'll be here. And then at 7 p.m. we got Doughboy coming in. He'll be coming in doing him. Then we got Thursday, we got Van Johnson coming in, and Doughboy, he's the, Doughboy and Van own Black Houston.
I only know Van from Chicago because
I'm
a Black Ink groupie.
Okay, are you? Okay, then we should know Doughboy. Doughboy is he's the owner of. Yeah. Ooh, you hear that?
I need I need a new tattoo.
Hey, shout out to Dan. Van, he about to be doing some damn tattoos on you. You know what I'm saying? He put it on. He just did he just did a line on a girl thigh.
It's about to be summertime.
He did a whole line on the thigh, the cheek, and everything. I don't know. It looked good though. The line looked good.
It was straight.
Yeah, the line was straight. All on the thigh.
As long as it's not like.
No, it was a line. She had a whole thigh done. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Yeah, it was a whole scene too. It was in the seams. You know what I'm saying? If you go on his page, you can see it. The last post he got. That's the one was on there. So yeah, so we doing it big. Then next week I got some people coming in next week. I don't even want to tell you who it is yet.
Make sure y'all tune in.
Hey, listen, they're gonna tune in. This is what happens on Fivecast. I'm trying to tell you, they tune in over here. Don't think it's slow.
I'll be tuning in.
Don't think it's slow. So we're gonna drop that wink and drink. That we're gonna fall out with that jam that y'all all know. You know what I'm saying?
Wink and drink. Era.
I like that. Them harps. That's for the No Limit Soldier right there. Wink and drink. What? A wink and drink. Don't forget to get that survey filled out in there. The wink and drink survey.
Drink survey.
It's 5 o'clock. It's time to leave. I dig into my pockets, pull out my car keys. Grab my wallet, walk out the front door. Unlock my phone, open the app store. I need a place to meet and think. Found a brand new app called Wink and Drink. Yeah. It's Wink and Drink. Hey. It's Wink and Drink. Come on. It's Wink and Drink, a brand new app where people meet. Come on. Hey, No Limit. It's Wink and Drink. Hey. It's Wink and Drink. Tony said, make him say, a brand new app where people meet. Yeah, Tony.
She got a picture and everything. Hold on.
Listen, you put no pictures in there?
No, I ain't been
you gotta put.
I'm not there
how you gonna get winked at?
I'm behind.
Listen, you can't get winked at unless you throw some pictures in there.
Hold on.
Shoot, you gotta throw them pictures in there. You know.
Oh man, that picture is cute. You took that.
Hey y'all, I
picture?
appreciate y'all all day. Y'all know it.
Super cute.
It's the king of no track, baby. Take, wheel. Take, wheel. Everybody take, wheel. Come on. Take, wheel. Do the take, wheel. Everybody take, wheel. You got to speak to me, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Give you a jab to the nose and make you say what's up. I'm in the club, nigga, tuck with the long barrel. When the music stops, have to sing it, not Christmas carols. People hate me, man, I really do know why. They see the wings on my back and they know I'm gon' fly. So what the fuck supposed to do? Just try to please people. Got my NDK crew family and I don't get people. Remember, used to put newspaper in my tennis shoes. Used to walk around in them tennis, the mini shoes. For party nigga, I was too thugged out for that. Never told all my enemies I couldn't be a rat. But niggas told on me, nigga, they got it in turn. Now ain't they mama's living room in a nice earth. Fuck you, your whole crew, bitch, cause you gon' get caught. Blow your brains out in your lap, now hold that thought. Motherfuckers, the beginning of a new era. Jay will get in and poppin', nigga, cause I'm so clever. You can love me, you hate me, nigga, but I'm still with it. G5 legacy never ending, bitch, it's the beginning. This is the beginning of a new era. Jay will get in and poppin', nigga, cause I'm so clever. You can love me, you hate me, nigga, but I'm still with it. G5 legacy never ending, bitch, it's the beginning. This just for my killers who just straight up murder. Leave you in the sewer dead just like a ninja turtle. I got connects with the real fucking black mob. And I'm trying to get it right for my man God. So any drama, dog, believe me that there's no problem. Niggas will torture your ass, you wish they fucking rob you. Menace to society, that's my favorite one. Desert Eagle 50 caliber, that's my favorite gun. My next is running, yes I'm gunning for your fucking dome. You the homie kid cause you always running fucking home. MBK got a boy, your house, we'll clap it up. I run my mouth like a big booty bitch, I can back it up. Try niggas on pickups just like they did in Jasper. Keep fucking around, your new friend is gonna be Casper. You gon' be in the casket, people trying to coffin on you. So many hoes ain't like it can play golf on you. Motherfuckers, stop pretending of a new era. Jay will get in and poppin', nigga, cause I'm so clever. You can love me, you hate me, nigga, but I'm still with it. G5 legacy never ending, bitches the beginning. This is the beginning of a new era. Jay will get in and poppin', nigga, cause I'm so clever. You can love me, you hate me, nigga, but I'm still with it. G5 legacy never ending, bitches the beginning. Fuck that shit, bro, I'm tired of being nice. White shit in your head, this mic is not a fucking lights. I keep the termites fed like a pistol, stay with some lead. Like Marita, dog, stay with some bread. I lived in the trailer, not no projects. It's still gun, but you wouldn't run on my set. I kill niggas, dog, and also I kill time. Tell out my snitches, they had 2 fucking moms. Niggas tell on me, goddamn, they drop the fucking down. Your brains are gone, now you out of your fucking mind. And niggas know I fight you, bitch, young bitch, stop. But they don't fucking understand to get the bitch to that head, that gun clap. It's the beginning of a new era. Jay will get in and poppin', nigga, cause I'm so clever. You can love me, you hate me, nigga, but I'm still with it. G5 legacy never ending, bitches the beginning. This is the beginning of a new era. Jay will get in and poppin', nigga, cause I'm so clever. You can love me, you hate me, nigga, but I'm still with it. G5 legacy never ending, bitches.